interrupt your daily scheduled broadcast to let you know you're in the field with the Trackstarz. This is one of the loudest hip-hop radio shows on the face of the planet.
Yeah, it's about that time, you already know. Turn the speakers up, man, it's time to start the show. Sean Tanner, Ryan Righteous, DJ Jeremiah. We bringing the heat, man, this joint be fire like, bruh. We in the field, we in the field, bruh. We in the field, we in the field. Just put it in work, we raising the bar. You tuned in.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah, man. Looks like we're getting the band back together, man.
Hey.
We got the homie Rick Sincere in the building from
Yeah, what's
FMG.
poppin'?
We got Miles Austin in the
Yeah,
building
yeah, what's
from
good?
FMG. We got Mr. Trey from FMG, actually from just Trackstarz music, period, man. From everything,
I
I
man.
was like, I don't think I'm legit on that one. Huh?
Yeah, listen, we're going to induct you in the
Had in my
FMG
stats.
if I got something to do with it.
There you go.
But yeah, man, just great to have you back in the building, bro.
Hey, man, it feels good to be back, man. It's good. It's always good to be home. You
I
know?
haven't seen you in a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So what's new?
Nothing's
What's
new,
poppin'?
man. Nothing's new. We just got back, moved back on Tuesday. We drove in. Everything moved in. Everything's good. We're out in Cartersville right now, so a little
Okay.
bit
You in
further from the
Cartersville?
city.
Jeez.
Yeah, just right now, a couple months.
Okay,
We're
okay.
figuring out, trying to get a house here. But trying to put some roots down, man. It's just, you know, we back and we back for good. So it's good to be back home, man.
Yeah, man, love having
I
you back.
like hearing back for good.
Yeah, man.
I like hearing back for
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's-
I ain't said that in a while, huh?
yeah,
man. No
So,
worries.
What's first thing you want to do? FMG wise, music wise, what's first thing you want to do?
I mean, music is such a part of me, man. I think right now I gotta do it.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, it's something where I gotta put pen to paper. I gotta get in the studio. I gotta get on the mic. I gotta get all this done. You know, so
Yeah.
I'm just excited about it, man. I'm excited about it to be back with the team, be back with the squad. You know, you guys been doing big things while I've been in DC, man. So I just been watching from afar and appreciating the big bros making moves. So it's time, man.
Can I put you on blast?
Go ahead.
Can I get a date for when something's gonna come?
Ooh, can you get a date? Ooh, where we in? We're in February. You should have 2 singles before the summer.
2 singles before.
2
the
singles
summer.
before the summer. That is definitely the plan. I'm already talking with some producers. So
Okay.
and then obviously collabs and everything. You know,
Everything's about to change.
everything's about to change.
Oh yeah. The game is tough.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I think
Game is tough.
with the music thing, you know, I've been leading worship for the past 5.5 years, or going on 6 years, and that's been the focus.
Okay.
So now it's becoming better at that. It's learning an instrument, which my focus right now is the piano and the guitar, and then just trying to be this just whole rounded artist type of thing, where I'm not just bringing one thing to the table, but bringing, you know, triple threat, quadruple threat, whatever you want to call it.
That's
I
what's
just
up.
want to be able to get in there and have the talent to do whatever I want to do.
That's
you know?
what's up.
Everything's
So
about to change.
you fit
Everything.
You fit very well into this first topic, man. So
All
this
right, let's
first
do it.
topic is the top 5s, man. We haven't done a top 5 in a while, right?
Okay.
This is the top 5 reasons why you need a team. So if you're an independent artist or you're an entrepreneur, you're just starting a out period and you just want to do something, you got a ministry, you got a nonprofit, anything you got going on right now.
Yeah.
Top 5 reasons why you need a team. And I'm just thinking off top, the first reason that comes to mind is because of manpower.
Okay.
Right? You
Yeah,
need time, you need people to execute for you,
sure,
you
for
need
sure.
different things that require, you know, special skills.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was one of the ones that Rick came up with was talents. Rick, what you think about it?
Well, one of my top 5 is talents that you don't have, right? So I think about I think about the talents that you bring to the table, right? And that's probably why you're getting started with whatever you're getting started with,
yeah.
right? So if you're getting started with a podcast, let's say you're getting started, you know, going into the music industry, you bring some talent to the table already. But even though, let's say for instance you're a rapper, right? Like you can rap and that's cool, right? But there's talents, other things that you don't have. Maybe you can't make beats. Maybe you can't do videos, right?
real.
Maybe you don't market well, right? There's some things that you don't bring to the table, and for those talents that you don't have, that's where your team comes into play. Does that make sense? So that's one of my top 5 reasons why you know, you need a team.
Well, that's really big because when you're talking about talents, right? Like it could be I'm trying to sit here and put together a whole song, right?
Yeah.
So I need a producer, I need
Yeah.
a hook writer, I need somebody to go over the studio with me and mix and master and get all that
Engineer,
good stuff
yeah.
together. So
Yep.
man, there's a lot of different things why you would need a team. That's a good one. I would say another one is time management and execution.
Yep.
That's
right?
true.
When we were working on Wonder Years project, we had a ton of people sitting around doing focus groups. We had a ton of people working on the wall.
Yeah.
We had a ton of people just kind of like putting together promotion and rolling out schedules, and it couldn't have all been done by one person.
That's
you
true.
know?
Yeah.
I mean, credit to Sean. Now, Sean did go out there and shoot his own music video.
It's
and,
Sean though.
Yeah, short film,
Sean,
and
you know?
probably came up with the beat and all that good stuff. And then he did the
He's a special
he
case.
did the album cover and the photo shoot.
Yeah,
I mean, he does a lot, and so that was one thing where it was like he couldn't have
But
done
even-
everything himself. So he needed a
Yeah.
team that would help him execute time management and
Definitely.
also just be there for the distribution of it all, because we
Yeah.
did a lot around Wonder Years.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
Sean,
a lot.
Sean didn't do his own album cover, right? Like
Yeah.
he thought about, he could do that stuff. Like he did
Yeah.
album covers for other people, but in
Yeah.
that case, he didn't do it himself,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Okay.
Because at times, and that's one of the things you talk about time management. There's time you don't have.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's
There's a
true.
lot of things to get accomplished. There's time you don't absolutely
Yeah.
have, but that's where your team comes into play.
Yeah.
Right? For that time you don't have. That's my
Yeah.
second reason, right? Time you don't have.
Yeah. And then even with your project, right? You went out there and you tried to come up with all these different covers for your own project,
Mhm.
and you ended up using somebody who helped you along the way. So it was just kind of like putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
For sure.
So that was a good
Yeah.
look.
I think a good one is going to be accountability.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
me, I think,
yeah.
I think in just the excuse me, just in the years that I was up there, man, learning and being a part of a team that is keeping each other accountable and what your goal is. I think a lot can happen outside of the your purpose and doing music. Let's say you're a rapper. Let's say you're a singer. Let's say you're you're in a band or anything, whatever it is. When you're focused on that goal and trying to get there, you need people around you who are going to keep you accountable, keep you grounded, keep you humble, and say, look, this is what you're working towards. This whatever you're doing in this space right now is not conducive to what we're trying to accomplish. And having those people around you are definitely going to be big. In the year while I was out there, just with leading worship and stuff, like I needed people to keep me accountable, keep me learning, keep me on my toes to continue to get better.
Yeah.
So accountability is big, definitely a top 5 for me.
That's a role Maya played in my overall process, right? Where she said, this is the goal, right? Because this is the goal of this week. Whatever goal is this week, this is the goal this week. And having to know that at some point later on in the week, I'd have to be accountable to that.
Yeah.
Like, I'd have to, say, if we got the goal accomplished or we didn't get the goal accomplished.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that was the same thing for Sean. They met weekly. Right, so if you're meeting weekly, there's a weekly goal. There's something that you need to get done. Right, that accountability, it always matters.
Yeah, I would say another one that comes top to mind is substitution, right? Being able to substitute people in where you need them, like having people pitch in
Oh wow!
when
That's
you need
good.
them.
Yeah.
Case in point, today, Sean's out celebrating with his wife, their new child. Congratulations to you guys. man.
Congrats on that. Big,
Yeah.
That's
big,
a big deal.
It is a big
That's
deal.
a big. That's
it's a big
that's
deal.
gonna change everything too.
It is. It's a great addition to our
gonna
team,
change
man.
everything.
It's a
That's
great
true.
addition to our
Yeah.
team.
That's true.
But in the substitution role, Rick, I told you that Jeremiah wasn't gonna be in, so Trey stepped in, you came in, so it's almost kind of like we can substitute a whole show
good.
when the key players that are involved week to week are not available, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's really dope to have substitution. And so when you think
Glad to
about
come
that,
off the bench.
yeah. You crazy. And so when you think about that, though, when you think about substitution, you're talking about like, let me substitute one talent for another, right? Let me bring somebody in who can shoot the music video while I'm the person acting in the video.
Yeah,
Right? Let me
absolutely.
bring somebody in who can direct the music video when I'm the person who is the creative behind it, right? So it's really great to have that substitution piece in there. And so, I'm hoping to substitute for FMG, man. If y'all ever need me, Red
Come
Snap
on-
to
come
out
on
of
through, Red Snap,
retirement.
man.
Come
Red
on through,
Snap to
big
come
dog.
out of retirement.
Come on, man.
For just
I can't wait for that next snapper.
Trey not
single.
having it? You not having? Trey
No.
said no, man.
Nah, it go
No.
hard though. It go hard.
He got a couple bars. I've heard a couple.
Yeah, I've heard.
He got
Yeah,
a couple
yeah.
16. He got some 16s.
Come
man.
on, man. Doc,
got
do
some
I need to tell you how original walk up in the church, hug
Hug
everybody?
everybody.
was?
Hug everybody. I ain't mad at
You
it.
get
Man.
one reunion album, and that's out it right
Is
there.
that what?
You get one.
I get one?
You get your one best of album, and then you bring
That's it. That's
So, I told you, like, I'm I'm still dealing with this whole Google thing, right? I'm still trying to get Google to change my profile because right now it looks like I'm a Dove award-winning Grammy nominated.
Yeah,
Just because of the name mix up.
producer because of the name mix-up.
Nah,
So-
that's right.
He's done a
That's
lot
right.
though.
Yeah.
You've done a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Just keep it, man.
It's behind the scenes. It's behind the scenes.
Just keep it.
Man,
So-
I was gonna say, why change it?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna start producing.
Take
Hey.
full credit
I
for
just
that.
don't know when.
Come on now.
Right? Like I tried to get on Logic one day and
You just gotta do it.
I cried.
I cry.
Logic was very
It's for real.
confusing
It's-
for me.
it's-
dog.
yeah,
You're producing this
definitely.
show right now.
You gotta find
This
what
is a
works
true
for you.
statement.
Yeah,
That's a
you
true
know what I
statement.
mean?
Yeah.
And you produced like several of these shows, and so this is nothing new for you. Actually, you're a producer for a whole nother show,
Another
right?
whole nother show.
Yeah. So
leave-
you
so
are
leave
a producer.
on there.
But I want that feel when I want the stank face. You know what I
want
mean?
the-
Like, I want the stank face. When
You don't want
somebody
the-
when somebody
Atlanta
hears
for
something
real.
that I put together, like and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna front, man. When I hear the transitions on this show, I'd be like, nice.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
all right.
Subtle
So
encouragement.
the last one I think I'm gonna highlight for the top 5 reasons why you need a team
make it a
is
good one.
multiple personalities.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Man, so I came up with this
is good.
multiple personalities. I'm going to assign one to everybody in the room, right?
All right.
So the high-level description of the 16 personality types. You got the duty fulfiller, the mechanic, the nurturer, the artist, the protector, the idealist, the scientist, the thinker, the doer, the guardian, the performer, the caregiver, the inspirer, the giver, the visionary, the executive. Now, Sean wears about like 15 of those.
Yeah.
I
So
was about
that's
to say
15.
the same.
We can contribute.
I don't think
But
we're
I was
saying
like,
the right
Sean-
thing
Sean
if you're
Grant,
saying
Sean
that he holds like 15 of the 16 personalities, man. That's not a good look.
Nah, but honestly, I'm gonna call Rick Sincere. I'm gonna call you the doer, and it says that's the friendly, adaptable, action-oriented person, the one who's focused on immediate results, living here and now. The risk taker who's fast-paced, got a lifestyle going where you just want to be in the know. So I
Yeah.
I would contribute that to you.
I think Sean's watching the show like, nah, son. Chris is somewhere like, nah, bro,
Nah,
he ain't the
man.
doer, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So here's what I'm gonna attribute to producer Trey over there. Quiet, serious, sensitive kind. Does not like conflict and not likely to do things which may generate conflict. Loyal and faithful. So I definitely would get that to you.
Yeah.
I like that.
Give me all those.
Do you-
Matter of fact, write that down for me and put those lists down for
Yes, sir.
characteristics.
Yes, sir.
You think he don't like conflict?
We know he doesn't like
I
conflict.
can start
Need to
conflict
put
with
that on
him
my
right
LinkedIn
now.
page.
Wait. First of all,
This'll take
here's
nothing.
what I'm saying. There's a caveat.
So maybe he don't like
Okay.
you.
if you get Trey into a conversation that he is deeply passionate about, forget
then it's
it.
different, yeah.
Shut it down.
That's
You're
like
done.
45,000 different topics.
I've
It's
seen
all-
that first.
To be
See,
honest,
look,
it's about 45
CHH
different topics when it comes to you specifically.
CHH. These are the ones I'm gonna stay away from. New music in CHH and anime. You talk about
Yeah,
those two,
that's you.
done.
That's you. You
He's
got
the
that.
expert.
You can
there.
talk about
He's the
technology with
expert
him.
there. Yeah, you can talk about that
Right,
too.
that'll get him riled up.
Yeah.
You can talk about any type of religion. Does that make sense?
I'm
Like,
opinionated. I'll give you that. I don't think it's conflict per se. I think
Yeah.
I'm just
Video
opinionated.
games.
All right.
Video. That's true.
It's only conflict because you are also very opinionated, and then we get into these problems.
That's what
Yeah.
conflict is.
Yeah.
Is it?
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
two strong personalities.
We
know
can
how to be
argue about
quiet.
conflict right now. You ready?
So here's what I'm gonna give. Here's what I'm gonna give to Kev in the corner, right?
Alright.
I'm gonna give him two. I'm gonna give him the protector, and I'm gonna give him the mechanic, right? So the protector is quietly forceful, original, and sensitive. Tends to stick to things until they are done. Extremely intuitive about people and concerned for their feelings, right?
like that.
Then I'm gonna give him the mechanic, quiet and reserved, interested in how and why things work, right? Me and Kev have had several conversations about like the process of Trackstarz and how do we do this and how do we do that. But the conversation that trips me out the most was when I was talking to Kev and I was like, yeah, we got an unpaid bill, and he was like, yo, son, you want me to go see about that? Like, and we go collect that money, right? Like, you need me to collect on
I
that?
had that.
In the force
Yo,
to Kevin.
Yo, I
So
remember
that's
when I
Kev
had
in the
Protector.
corner.
The
That's
protector.
Kev in the
I
corner.
remember when I had it.
And
I
I,
like that quality, brother.
I'm gonna give one to Ryan over here. I'm gonna give one to Ryan too, Ryan Wilson.
Here we go.
So warm-hearted. This is the caregiver. Warm-hearted, popular, and contentious man. Like tends to put things ahead of puts things of his own his own needs below others, right? Like, so he's just basically saying, well, actually, I read that backwards. What am I?
We got you. We understand.
Tends to put the needs of others over their own needs,
There you
right?
go.
Feels strong sense of responsibility and duty. Because, man, let me tell you, I've witnessed several times where Ryan has been loyal to this show. He's come out, but he's also a very strong evangelist, right? He'll go out there. He will take that word to the street,
Praise
man.
God.
He will give it to people raw and uncut, and that's great, bro. We appreciate you doing that,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
That is
thank you.
definitely
That's
awesome.
Thank you.
All right, Miles, didn't forget about you,
Oh, here we go.
man.
Here we go.
Man, there's a lot here that I want to say about you. I'll probably give you the inspirer, enthusiastic, idealistic, creative, able to do almost anything that interests them. A great people person with good people and communication skills.
I appreciate
I
it.
definitely would get
Yeah,
that to you.
That feels
I
right.
definitely would get that to
That
you,
feels
man.
good.
So I think that's the most important thing. Yeah.
What about you?
Ooh,
Man.
here we go.
You gonna let him choose his own?
So?
Why not?
Yeah, I'm
Why not?
Testing your humility today.
Ugh. This is a mix, though, man. This is between me and Sean, though. This
All right.
is the executive, right? Like of course, Sean is the CEO of Trackstarz. Definitely, hats off to him. But the executive is assertive and outspoken, and I think I do a lot of that for Trackstarz, right? I think
No question.
I'm pretty much the guy that will run into a crowd and just start screaming stuff. Case in point, Flavor Fest.
Yeah, bet.
Yo, we needed that on video, man.
Yeah, that was a good
Nectar
look.
push. That joint was awesome.
That was a good
man.
look.
Matter of fact, 3 people out that circle signed up to Nectar, so
Oh,
shout out to
bet.
them
From
for
that
yeah.
promo?
That and just follow up.
Bet.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, that
bet.
and follow up.
That's good.
Excellent ability to understand difficult organizational problems and create solid solutions. Intellectual and well informed. I think me and Sean split that. Usually excels in public speaking. So those are the areas that I do like to I do like to advance my development in. So yeah. So I think that's it, man. So if you are part of if you're not already a part of a team, get onto a team,
for
right?
sure.
Share your talent, share your abilities. Just being able to serve, being able to give back, being able to help. We have phenomenal team members. Trackstarz team at one time was comprised of over 40 people. When you think about all the people that were contributing to the podcast that Trackstarz Sports was doing under the direction of Rick Sincere, and you think about the team that's in LA, the team that's in Arizona, the team that's in North Carolina, Tennessee,
DMV?
across across the seas and abroad over in the Bahamas, and we even had somebody all the way out in Australia that was contributing to Trackstarz. So
God's reach is big, man.
yeah, God is amazing, man. So we really appreciate that. To the whole team, the writing staff, everybody. The website has not looked better. It has not looked better, and it's because of all the people on our writing team. Shout out to Ashley Korf, shout out to Prophet Josiah, shout out to Wrestling, shout out to Ryan Whitehead, shout out to Kenny Woods, Damian, everybody, Jason Bordeaux, everybody who's a part of the writing team, man. We love you. We appreciate what you guys do.
sir.
You keep it interesting.
Oh, for sure.
The articles and everything, the content, man, they keep it interesting. So, yeah, on that note, man, I give my hat to you guys and just say thank you for everybody surrounding this table and everybody who is coming to Trackstarz weekly, promoting something, resharing a tweet. We need this. We need this. This is big for us because it feels a lot like the Stream Club, where we try to get everybody to go and stream an artist at one time.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to be a part of a team. Like everybody's called to the same purpose and the same vision, and everybody's enhancing on what that vision can look like, right?
Definitely.
So Sean and I, we came up with Trackstarz, and we came to the table with this raw idea, and then we brought DJ Jeremiah in, and from there we were like, okay, guys, this is what we want to do. And then everybody else started saying, I can see myself fitting in here, and I could do this, and I could do that. And so it's just awesome, man. Like we're in our 11th, 12th year, right? And
Crazy.
I always say 11, 12 because Sean always says I say the same thing twice. So 11th or 12th year, and it says that you have to be an overnight success takes 15 years. So, I mean, we're almost there, and I wouldn't call it overnight success. I would call what God is doing is the overall success.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
definitely appreciate everybody who's pitching in, and Shantana out there, man, we love you, bro. We
Big
appreciate what you're doing, man. We know you're out with family right now. Enjoy that time. It's priceless, and we'll see you when you get back. All right. You're in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go. Because I
Oh,
started feeling
Thank you,
brother.
brother.
Yeah. So I had this little heater, right?
You're the scientist.
And I turned it on because you can't hear it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
I got a PhD in biomedical science.
So where are you guys joining us from?
That's
From Atlanta? Okay.
I'm from Detroit and I live here.
Okay, from Detroit?
Yeah, I'm from Houston.
From Houston.
Okay.
Okay.
That joke is so
All right.
funny.
I'm born and raised in Atlanta. I can't tell you that you come to the best city there is, I think. I can never leave Atlanta. There's just so much about Atlanta.
Oh, y'all know.
Yeah, I get so much about it. We have some friends that are from Detroit or came in from Detroit. And they were talking about the snow that they were battling the last couple of weeks. Ugh, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I've been talking to my family.
Yeah. Everybody's okay?
Yeah, they're good, but it's
Well, I
sick
got
of it.
PhD,
They're sick of it.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't do it.
You say what?
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That much snow, I saw it.
Oh man, I can't.
It's rough.
See, the problem is,
I just got to fight with a girl.
the reason I love Atlanta so much is because when we do have that bad weather, it shuts everything down. So you know that the kids aren't going to school. You don't have to get out in it. You don't have to do anything. But in Chicago and Detroit, you still got to go to work. You still got to do the driveway. You still got to. It's just too much.
Houston is the same way. I like
Yeah.
that. Shut down
This is
there.
Tia?
Yeah, it's just too much. So.
Oh, right.
I'm gonna tell you about it.
Yeah, let's talk about
Do you have drops too? You got drops? Jeremiah. I heard Jeremiah. He's supposed to put together the whole show the way it's supposed to flow.
it. What's he got going on?
You know, he just buy us.
That's
Yeah.
right. Where they buy it?
I still.
Ah, they don't remember me. What do you call them?
So that might be
Where my
what
mom's
he's
house
out
is
doing.
at tomorrow.
Oh, man.
What we heading into? We going into entertainment.
Head out to Charlotte tomorrow.
For what? Oh yeah. Yo, what's good?
What do you need, sir?
Are you going today?
Hello, sir. NBA. Huh?
You leaving today?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning, spending all day Sunday. So, whatever tickets my wife got, she got for us to be in the arena until the game starts.
Oh, word.
So I'm like, I mean, the nosebleeds are like $2,000, bro. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good on that. So I went to the one that was here in Atlanta like 10 years ago. And the arena is just set up for All-Star Weekend. Like,
So you
all
can be
types of
there
games.
until the game starts.
Yeah, they start
So you gotta
checking.
leave.
They start checking tickets.
Okay.
Hey, bro, you got a ticket for the game?
Okay.
You got a ticket to be here? Like, they'll kick you out.
Yo, if you get a shot, right, bro, you got your podcast. If you get a chance, like, you know, just randomly interview people who are there.
Yeah, sure.
And just see what the overall vibe is. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I may call you while you're there to see if I can get a No, enjoy yourself. But we're gonna talk after.
Yeah, we got.
But I wanna know what the vibe
I
is.
might have a voice memo on quick.
Okay.
I should probably put it on.
20 hours for me now.
22 sounds right.
Yeah. And you don't have any drops, huh? I'm having to do a lot of editing to this show.
Yep.
Hurt Jeremiah.
Heard him, bro.
Hurt him.
I forgot how you do it. How
Hope
you
he's
change,
watching.
I hope you watching. Hope you can hear me right
Like
now.
You
D1?
can hear what I'm saying.
Like D1?
See my face.
Yeah, I figured you're from New Orleans, like him. I'm gonna see him, Bizzle, and Flame on March 17th.
Where?
And it's actually in Indiana.
Us in Indiana.
Yeah,
Okay.
like because Flame he had been here like in Atlanta a long time.
Yeah.
So my wife and I were gonna drive, maybe fly, but we may drive there.
Okay.
We already bought tickets, so we
Oh, for real?
VIP.
How much it cost?
I think VIP was like 30.
30. Okay,
Maybe.
that's not bad.
I can't forget it was 60, 30 or 60.
I haven't
look,
seen
but-
D1 perform since what? South by Southwest?
Oh really?
Yeah. Well, I didn't even see him perform at South by. No, I did. That's when he did. I don't want to let you down.
Oh okay.
And that's
I've never
right.
seen him.
Oh, you don't see him perform? He's
I've seen
good. Yeah,
Bizzle.
he's really good. I haven't seen Bizzle perform yet. I want to see
You
what
know
he's
he's really
like.
good?
Your boy, Derek Miner's pretty good.
Is he good?
Yeah.
You seen Seven perform?
Never seen Seven.
Bro.
For real?
It's like church service.
Really?
It's good. It's good. Seven will preach to you, boy.
Really?
It's you saw him in Baltimore. Me and Damien drove up.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, like in between every song, it was empowering and it was crazy.
Really?
I still was gonna never talk to him. He had bulletproof vest on.
Oh.
I mean, Seven, he cut up. Like the first time you actually see him in person, he's like, so this is the thing. He has a hearing issue in one of his ears.
Yeah.
So when you say something to him, if you don't know the ear that it is,
Yeah.
he responds to you like, what?
Oh, he talked to you like that?
But he says it's a little aggressive.
What?
So you like,
For real?
I'm gonna chill. Good to meet you, brother. I saw this whole thing play out. He was like, man, I love your music. He's like, what? What you say? He was like leaning in. Dude was like, I like your music. Seven cut up, man. Seven is cut up, bro. I didn't know how he's Diesel. And I said, wow. But I mean the performance itself, we saw Bizzle was there. 7, 30
That was
seconds.
just like
And Jared Sanders, yeah, they were up in Baltimore. Jared's tough too, man.
30
I know.
I mean, I didn't get to connect with him like I wanted to, but he's definitely cool, man. If you see anybody, see 7. 7's nice.
We was doing debate field. We did an in-car interview with him.
Oh, bet.
Mm-hmm. It was cool people.
No, it's tough, man. Ooh. Nah. And where your beats at? No time, don't stop.
I'll tell you after this.
Yeah, we have a conversation.
He don't sell it.
You don't do it,
He don't want
We
rappers.
family,
He don't want
bro.
rappers on his beat.
I'm
Here we go.
So you know.
Yeah, back in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. This is entertainment report time, man. Shout out to the homie Jeremiah, man. He
Yeah.
is awesome dude, man. He hooked me up with the entertainment report.
Big
and
bro.
So, yeah, big bro, man. But shout out to he doesn't get his credit, man. He didn't get his credit. He does so much for us, man, on the show.
Vital part of the
He
team.
is the sound behind the show, so
Yeah.
we just really appreciate you, DJ Jeremiah.
All love, big bro.
Yeah. So definitely appreciate that. Okay, entertainment report time. Pastor Brian Houston praised actor Chris Pratt for the bold faith that he has in Jesus as he endured public attacks from the actress Ellen Page. Y'all know Ellen Page?
Yep.
Okay, and this is all for going to church, right? The Sydney, Australia-based Hillsong Megachurch, which is attended by a number of celebrities, including Justin Bieber, Kevin Durant, Selena Gomez. It found itself at the center of the media firestorm after Page publicly accused Pratt's church of being infamously anti-LGBTQ. After Pratt responded and explained that his personal values represent him, not his church affiliation, a number of outlets, including Variety, CNN, and NBC, reported that the church in question was none other than Hillsong, which has several campuses across the U.S. But in a series of tweets on Thursday, now the pastor actually said that this didn't have anything to do with them. He clarified to mainstream media that the reports were false, saying that the weird thing about this is the media regarding Chris Pratt and the Hillsong Church is that it's built on a falsehood. He tweeted, "I am so grateful for Chris's bold faith in Jesus, but he is not now and has never been a member of Hillsong Church. It's also completely false that Hillsong Church practices or recommends or suggests gay conversion therapy to anyone. I've always been a vocal opponent, and in fact, and again, this was built on a falsehood," he tweeted. What y'all think about that?
I forget his name. Do you know the name of the pastor?
Houston, Brian Houston.
Brian Houston. So this is the one in New York?
This
Or is it
is
one-
the founder.
Oh, the founder. Okay, the founder. I was gonna say, I have uniquely it's called the Life Church out in DC.
Uh-huh.
So the worship people, the worship pastor, worship director, all those have served directly with Hillsong. Been on tour. My worship pastor was the producer, like the first 4 or 5 albums, their plaques around the wall, craziness.
Yeah.
So it's a unique thing, man. I've got to sit and talk with them about just what happens with being so big, and I think that just, I mean, how can you really react to something that is a part of their beliefs, but then try to attack them for what they believe? It seems silly to me.
Yeah, well, so the interesting part that I thought was what struck me as odd is the fact that Chris Pratt said he was a member of the church, right?
Yeah.
And is this a way for him to escape the pressure of him being called that, or is it just a way for the church to kind of be shunned again for no reason? So the thing that I'm concerned about is where this whole conversation of gay conversion therapy came in, because it didn't mention that.
Yeah, when you read it at the end, I said,
Yeah,
I wonder why he said that.
It's just one of the things that they were trying to loop in as far as accusations. and
Yeah,
things
I
like
guess
that.
because they're falsely been accused of being an anti-gay church, so that's interesting. So in other CHH news, and this is big, y'all. So every time we celebrate a win in CHH, I feel like we all can collectively celebrate this.
Amen.
And Cannon sent out a tweet. So RMG artists Derek Minor and Cannon found themselves on the NFL Network. Their song "It's Not a Game," which is one of my favorite
It's a great
joints,
song.
dude.
Good song.
That joint is so awesome, man. I love that song.
Yeah.
But it was used for the New England Patriots coverage of the Super Bowl. A little birdie told me I was on TV again. Laugh out loud. This time it was the Super Bowl, and yes, this is real, and we're winning big, y'all. This is what Cannon tweeted out, and he said, shout out to the NFL Network, the Patriots, and congrats on winning the Super Bowl. How you feel about that, Rick?
What?
Winning the Super
Real
Bowl.
targeted you.
Let me tell you something, man.
Should you have gone? This is the
was a
question I want to ask you. Do you think
You're perfect. For
Let me
this.
ask you this question because we haven't talked about it. I know
Yeah.
it was sensitive. I needed like 3 weeks to die down before I asked you about it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. What's good?
Possibly 4.
You got scars too.
I do, but
I'm just saying.
But his
You got a-
scars.
you got a bigger
honestly,
scar.
I think the scars.
Your
are
scars a
hurt
little
more,
bigger.
Right?
Your brother's a little bigger for the
Yeah,
Falcons.
I think the scars are hurt a little more.
I mean,
for-
I'm just
no,
saying.
no, no, no,
if
no,
you
no,
go
no,
come
no.
against
No,
my brother,
no,
I want
let
you
me
to
tell you
understand
why.
you got
Let
scars.
me tell
I
you
really,
why.
I really
I
think
just
the
put it
scars
out
that
there.
hurt more for you, right? So not only did they come back from 28-3, right, but then they came to your city and then won. You know what I mean? Like those
This was
scars,
bad.
those scars
You know
are tough.
what? That's
Tom
a-
Brady has been living like this
That's-
Falcon killer life for a while. That's
Here's
super
what you
cool.
here's what you were sitting on the couch
Really cool.
having to think about, right?
Me, not really.
Yeah,
Here we
this is
go.
what you had to think about.
Justice?
You had to think about how sorry that game was, right? How sorry that game was, and how high-powered your offense was all season long, and how you would have won that Super Bowl had you won against Tom Brady.
Nah, I
Y'all
didn't.
would have won that Super Bowl. That's easily. I mean, there's
Yeah,
no way you're
guys play
gonna
the
stop.
Rams, right?
Did you spend time on the couch thinking that was no way we would have even been here?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
That don't even matter,
I knew
like,
that like after
I don't
game
really have to watch
3
this.
of the
That's not-
season.
That's messed up.
It's not even a thing.
That's messed
Whatever.
up.
I knew we weren't
Y'all
going
should've won
game
that
3.
game.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, like I didn't think about that
You
stuff during the
silly,
game. But what I really thought about during the game was more so like, for one, it was a boring game to the person who wants the high power stuff all year long, right? It was just high powered, this,
This
high
is
powered,
this
that.
is Super Bowl or LA versus
No, the
New
Super
Orleans?
Bowl,
Okay.
right? The Super Bowl. Everybody was looking for high-powered offenses, and
I mean,
all
wanted
year long
more.
it's been like that. But defense, it was a good game to me. Like, you know what I mean?
Defensively,
It was a
amazing. Yeah, I
defensive.
didn't
It was
watch
a
that.
good defensive game, and people thought, it's super boring. But those are the people who are looking for something different.
Nah,
I was cool with
need a
whatever it
shootout.
was.
I need a shootout.
Do you need a
Yeah,
shootout?
I didn't need a shootout. What I needed though was for Tom Brady to win. That's what I needed.
I think Bill-
because if LA won, I'd have felt some type of way.
All right.
I think Bill got what he wanted though. He was like, "This is a defensive game. I'm gonna let it ride out and then throw the ball to ground."
I feel
Yeah.
like
It's
he
very
was
bad.
playing with them though, because the way he just handled them
Oh,
in the fourth
yeah.
quarter, it was just like, oh, I could have done this the whole time.
But he didn't want to.
Yeah.
He was
Just
like,
messing with you,
if
you
we
know.
go up now, they're gonna change up their whole thing. I'm gonna let them keep believing what they believe in. We're gonna play defense to the last six minutes of the fourth quarter, and I'm gonna just score. It's good.
Yeah, he sunned a young coach, and I thought it was cool.
Oh, for sure.
Tom Brady's definitely the GOAT. All right, so Tadashi just announced his next album. I'm excited about
Hey,
this.
hey,
This
hey.
is his 5th studio album.
Nice.
And it's going to be called For the Glory, and it's going to be released in March. So shout out to Reach Records, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
They have just a lot of projects dropping soon. They got the tour dropping soon. If you have not already gotten with the tour dates, man, you really need to do it. I'm going to the tour.
Bet.
Now for Atlanta, it's actually on a Sunday.
Okay.
It's on a
Oh,
Sunday.
bet. Okay.
So I like that because it gives me an extra day where I can ask my wife, like, can I please go out? You know what I mean?
Can I please?
Y'all know what it's like, man.
It's a true statement.
Yeah, so I mean, because here's the thing, March is jam packed for Trackstarz. Starting up in like the second week of March, I think we had South by Southwest. So we're gonna go be a part of that. We're in sponsorship with Reflection Music Group and Hip Hop DX.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be out there. We got a Nectar artist, I think, that's performing at one of the showcases.
Oh, nice.
And then right after that, we come right back into town, and then we have the Reach Records concert, the Unashamed Forever tour,
Bet.
right? And then right after
We're gonna be
that,
in there.
following week or a week and a half after, I guess, we are going to the Stellars in Las Vegas because
Nice.
the Trackstarz, in conjunction with GH3 Radio, are nominated for Stellar
And
Come on now.
MC Nice.
Internet Radio Show of the Year. So shout out to
Yeah.
MC Nice, shout out
MC
to
Nice.
Right Way Management Group,
Yeah, big things,
shout out
big
to
things.
Amy Bentley Management Group. Everybody has just really embraced Trackstarz from a support standpoint, and we
That's
really
good.
appreciate that.
That's
So
good, man.
yeah, we're gonna have a busy March. So y'all get
Man.
ready, man. It's gonna be a turn up season. So.
You ever think this point right now, everything that you're talking about back on that college campus?
Man, we were still bitter about not having relationships, so we weren't even thinking this far in advance.
It's
We
good,
was
man.
like, yo.
I got some big plans, man.
Yeah, God does. It's amazing, man. So the comment section. Shout out to 1K Few, man. What's Understood is now out.
I want to hear it.
We are hopefully gonna be sitting down with 1K real soon. Culture
course.
Villains preseason. Tori Deshawn, Super Saiyan single. Bridgewater level single. Gavi Hope single. Erica Mason, Talk to Loneliness single, Social Club Misfits Every Time single, and the free download of the week is J Fish with the OG.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
I heard Erica Mason was nice.
Yeah.
The record was tough.
Oh yeah, man. Erica Mason. She's in Atlanta now. You know that, right?
Oh no,
Moved to Atlanta. Yeah. So I think Atlanta's the spot where everybody's like coming to congregate. We're gonna have a revival soon.
Oh, for
and all
sure.
that good stuff. So
For
it's
sure.
gonna be great, man.
I'm
I
back
think,
for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
There should be a super huge CHH concert, right?
Uh-huh.
Like in Atlanta with all the Atlanta artists that are here.
Yeah.
And Trackstarz should lead it. I'm just throwing
What
it
should we
out there.
call that though?
I don't know.
Let's talk about
But
it.
we should
We're ready-
definitely talk about that.
Praise
get
the
that down.
Palooza.
Maybe. No, I'm dead
No, we
serious.
good?
It should be at
So-
the Georgia Dome. Well,
Let's put that on
the
the
World
board.
Georgia
Congress
Dome,
Center.
the parking
It
lot.
should be no, it should be insane. I mean, there's
Let's
so
make
much
it happen,
talent
yeah.
here.
You can make it
Like
happen.
it's crazy right
Yeah,
now.
talent,
Whatever.
talent is definitely here.
Whatever. I'm throwing it out there. You heard it here first. When it goes down, just know that I said it. It should be due.
Oh, okay.
Should be
All right.
done.
That's what's up.
Should
That's
be
what's
done.
up. All right, we're going to get back into some more music. You're in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go. All three people around the table.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I'm going to do it. In this next topic,
It's social? It's social?
This is.
I think I'm gonna say the other topic for last, the heaviest topic for last.
Which one?
The one we talked about last week. We're gonna go into Colin Kaepernick.
I see an NBA player.
Colin Kaepernick.
Lucha?
You saving?
Do you all have plans to go to the Unashamed Forever concert?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll probably go.
I think we get it pretty
Yes, that's gonna be awesome.
It starts when?
It's only one day. It's March 17th.
Tomorrow is.
Oh, it's on March 17th. Sunday, March 17th.
Lord.
Yeah, that's when
Oh,
I'll.
mom's house tonight.
I think that's when I'll be going to see Flame and a D1
Are you gonna be there?
Visual
What? Where?
in Indiana.
Oh, you got tickets for that?
Yeah,
I'm
VIP
not figuring out
tickets, my
what to
wife and I.
Figure out what
Because, you know, Flame just he happens to never come to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, like, I want to see him, you
Skills
know,
challenge.
so we're just like,
Oh,
go
wow.
either drive or fly.
Oh, I got
Oh, wow.
Maybe that's the six. Okay, that's the Saturday 16th. So the
I
Sunday
still
the
got- I think I still got
17th.
it.
I can't believe you're flying out of Indiana.
Yeah, we may drive. It's a 6-hour drive.
Oh, so you in what?
So-
You said
We just leave like it's in the evening. The concert, so we'll leave like eight,
probably
8, 9. So we may fly. We don't know yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can get out pretty quick. I work on
That's
that.
crazy.
In Atlanta.
You work on
Nice little road trip. I guess.
what you doing? Are you going?
I think it's coming to Detroit first.
No, still construction sales. So the company I was with out in Virginia,
Yeah.
my umbrella.
Where's
company
that?
is
Understand
international.
Forever?
Yeah, so they just
Huh?
give you with the
What are the
sign.
venues that understand
I was
forever?
like,
Yeah,
man,
that's-
nigga, I do-
What venues that understand forever?
That's big.
Look.
So business.
Things like center stage,
Okay.
Last Wednesday.
Okay.
Oh, like 3-4 days ago.
Then we're moving into the house.
Yeah, for sure. We got you.
Have y'all looked at it?
We have not. I have.
Now,
It's convincing her. She don't want to be out there.
Oh, for real?
I'm just at the same time.
She don't know.
That's what I'm thinking.
Douglasville's dope.
Like I'm for the money, bro. Like that's we gotta be smart. about
Right.
it.
Yeah.
What you feel about Douglasville?
Love Douglasville,
Yeah,
man.
Douglasville.
So awesome.
Douglasville's decent.
Yeah, I like it, man. I've been at plenty of times, man. Convincing that girl.
For real?
Yeah.
What she think? What she scared of?
I don't even know.
Being away from the world?
That's-
I mean,
that's-
Cartersville is the same thing right now,
Bro,
though.
we straight north, man. And
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, snap. It's at Buckhead Church.
what?
Concert.
What concert?
Crazy.
When is it?
The Unashamed Forever tour.
When is it?
March 17th. Is Buckhead Church big enough?
Buckhead Church.
It's
What you
big.
mean?
For the Unashamed Forever, that's
Wait.
It's
What's,
big.
what's Buckhead Church? You talking about, you talking
It's not
Andy
big?
Church?
It's not big enough.
Oh, that's
for
the,
this.
yeah, that's the,
Yeah, it's not big enough for this.
No, it's not. Not for
Not
eight,
for this.
eight
It's
reach
gonna sell
artists
out, yeah.
that all sell out when they do shows. KB, Andy.
Because Andy was at center
Craig.
stage, sold it out.
It's a
That-
big
that's
church,
tiny.
but they need to
Yeah.
get
You don't think they're gonna be big enough?
From Trips to Minutes, so that's gonna be
They
huge.
should have gone.
I think
to, like,
lyrically.
Wait, they have floors though.
Huh?
They have floors, so they
think
have the
lyrically
bottom
could be
floor
the
and then there's the top.
Yeah.
So
At me, bro.
I think they could
remember-
have done the State Farm Arena.
I remember
At
going
me,
to
bro.
well, I don't know, because it was just Lecrae at the time. Though. It was Lecrae, 1K Few, and
better.
with AHA, right? So they had a concert at somewhere downtown.
You're talking about the
And when I went there, at the Tabernacle, right? And there was floors there, and so that whole bottom floor was like out, right? There was no room, standing room only down there, right? But then on that second wave, I think it was somewhat crowded, not fully. And then the third one, like almost nobody.
If they
So
did that, they took all the chairs
And-
out
and he
of
has
that
this-
church and just had the bottom floor.
I don't know,
open.
it's
then,
catered,
you can
it's
probably get in there
catered.
like this, but it could work.
When I hear
Yeah.
KB,
I
I'm
think
just
it's gonna get packed out
I need
or
to-
sell
It's
out
like
very
big
fast.
artists,
Like,
though.
Yeah, that's right.
so who we looking at? Is Andy gonna be there?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody reached
Everybody?
Yeah,
All the main people. Well,
Like the main people I want to hear.
And I think what they're gonna do too is I think they're gonna bring back old artists
Especially
they
for the Atlanta
collaborated
show.
with.
Y'all think they gonna bring back Silver Rock?
Yeah,
That's what I'm feeling.
because he's don't he live here by the point?
Yeah.
Did Show live here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds
For
like
real?
he's doing
I
something
know.
different.
You know, Show lives here.
I don't know
It sounds
Show live.
familiar.
He just came for the thing we did. Like that was it.
Stop playing
Yeah,
with
His
me.
brother,
I don't know where he
his
lives,
brother was
though.
the
Why you holding on these
founder,
beats?
was the
I'm
new
not.
church
They
plant
being
for
stand blue.
Blueprint Church.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
So that show's always been here.
Ah,
Okay.
okay. You got, you don't got nothing else?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You knew that.
I'm
My
excited
bad.
for it.
Yeah.
Let me
Well, I
know,
thought
bro.
you knew when your
Let me know when
friend
that
was
drop.
No.
You never had to push that
assisting
for
I didn't
him.
know. I didn't know.
That would make sense that he lived, right?
I didn't know. That was your friend more than mine, though.
Your friend.
That was your friend.
Oh, I like that. That's a good look.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. You get on the computer, you find some old throwaways.
I'm gonna hurt Jeremiah.
For what?
You need elite music? No.
I need something.
Wait, is this the?
I gotta get
This is
working.
playing right now?
Yeah. I just wanted a little bit more like beat.
Social Club was right before this one.
This is good.
I'm talking about.
No,
You're so
These are the new
You're so
songs
Atlanta.
that were in the comment section.
Huh?
You're just so
These are the
Atlanta.
brand new
Calm
in the
down.
comment section. You want me to play one more song?
Banging 808s.
The next song is a fast song.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yo,
Let's do one more song.
where's my
Hey, you know that?
Who's that guy on the screen?
I don't know.
The name of the guy on the screen.
The one I want to mention to
He was
you.
Paul
Paul
Russell.
Russell? Paul Russell?
Is that his name?
Yes.
Paul Russell. I like that dude.
I want to mention to you.
He's my new favorite artist.
There's no sun in there.
What'd you say?
There's no sun in
Are
here.
you serious? You don't see these lights?
S-O-N.
You don't see that?
You in here shining.
It took me
You
the
don't see
longest
it?
to
You in
realize.
here shining.
This is that's
Is that not a light?
You shining, bro.
Is that not a
You
light?
shining, bro.
I'm just
You
saying,
look, bro.
brother.
You look like money.
I'm just saying, nah. I'm not wearing palm
Bro,
trees.
you look like money, bro.
I'm not the one wearing palm trees.
I got a BMW jacket.
There's no
I'm
SU.
I'm just saying.
Huh?
I said there's no SU in it, but there's the SO in
There you go. Look at that. Hey, look at him.
And then
Brought it full circle.
He ready for bars.
I love it. Oh man. The next song we hit.
This better for you, Ryan?
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you make a DJ just for you, little bit?
It's Atlanta.
Okay.
It's Atlanta.
All right.
He's so Atlanta. I need 808s in every song. A lot of 808s and hi-hats. Bow, 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 bow.
See, you're not gonna like my favorite artist so much, Paul Russell.
What's your favorite?
He's one of my new
It
favorite
just changed today.
I'm about to say that. You just asked his name. Like, what are you talking about?
I just introduced this. I just put this band on to
My new
somebody else.
favorite
artist. My new favorite artist. Paul
I'm
Russell.
still a Caleb Mitchell.
Is that how you say it, Russell?
I just wish he didn't feel like he had to cut.
I understand,
Oh,
man.
he's got
Cage
some-
Dream.
Huh?
Cage Dream.
He doesn't cut
That's
this.
Foggy Robin.
Yeah, I like him.
Ruslan is really good at picking artists.
I like Paul Russell.
I heard a song from him when I first got up to the DMV. 'Cause I was like, I need to connect with him because he's up here. And it was the N-word through the whole song.
Did you see?
Who?
Did you see the
Foggy
show?
Rock.
Did you see the
Foggy
show?
Rock?
They were
Oh
on?
yeah, because it is.
You didn't hear him when they said.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't
What's
know.
Foggy
You didn't hear him when he
situation?
said that.
What you mean? What's the situation?
What's the situation?
With what?
What did he say? He said.
Right.
He said Soulja
Ask him.
Boy
He's a
is
Christian rapper, right?
better than Eminem. Yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
He said they said some crazy stuff, bro.
I
Like
haven't really
the
listened to
younger
Foggy Rock like
generation,
that. I've
they
heard he was on a song with
really
Andy.
Clicks,
Yeah.
bro.
They said
Clickbait.
Is that what it is?
they said no one. They said Eminem isn't better than anybody on the XXL freshman list.
Say what?
The current one?
The one was last year.
This was last year.
The one from
Last year?
Yeah.
The
This
one
was what
with-
this is what the
XXL?
Kodak.
Dre.
Yo, Saturday Night Live, bro.
The dude got bodied by Pusha T. Hide the word from the kids. Want to hide the word from the kid?
Yeah, he came over them.
Stop playing with me, man.
That's fine.
Yeah, they were wildin', man.
Y'all better stop playing with me.
And then we had Art Swift.
My whole flow.
Well, you talking about
Swift was
freshman
dropping
list from 2018?
Yeah.
It's trash, bro.
You mean the one
It was like Kodak
you mean
Black.
You mean
man?
that wasn't Kodak Black. That was
18?
no, that was the 18 was the one with what you call it on? Was it with what's my man's name?
Lil Pump.
Oh man, do you have
All-
the top of the
all
hour
of
ID?
those.
Huh?
So
You
look.
top of the hour ID?
No.
Oh, this red dot.
I'm hurting your mind. I'm hurting your mind.
This guy. All over the place.
I like this. I ain't gonna front. I like this song.
I'm text threatening Jeremiah right now.
Do it, bro. Let him know what's up.
That's not a lot of Christian songs where you can say headshot in, and this is it.
I mean, it's the name of the song.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
E HUD headshot.
I'm
The
dead
name of the
serious.
song.
Mhm.
All right, we got 30 seconds.
You got 30 seconds? He said red dot, that's the headshot. That's crazy. So you say Eminem's not better than Lil Pump? He's not better than Wi-Fi Funeral? He's not better than Trippie Redd?
Who are these people?
Huh?
That's the better question. Who are these
You
people?
say who are these people?
Lil
I'm
Pump.
gonna come in at the end.
He's gonna get very upset with you
you
if
put
you don't know who
Funeral-
Trippie Redd is.
All right,
Funeral in your-
all right, here we go.
Oh wait.
Get your life.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Ten, and DJ Jeremiah. This segment is sponsored by Unapologetic Urban Merch.
Hey,
Yo, shout out, man.
I need some merch.
I'm rocking the shirt right now. Shout out to Unapologetic. You can go to unapologeticmerch.com. You can check out all the latest that they have. They got the hoodies, they got the long sleeve
everything.
shirts. It's right for the season, man. I don't know if we're gonna get any more cold weather or this is gonna all just flush out of here real soon.
I still
but
need that Yeshua hoodie.
the Yeshua hoodie
That
is
Yeshua hoodie
bomb,
fire, boy.
and it's coming in so many different
I
colors,
need that.
man. I gotta
need that.
get my game up.
Hey, I am Miles Austin. Please, somebody hit me. I need to get connected.
Is that a GoFundMe you gonna start for that?
Hey, man,
You
for
gonna
all the
start
merch,
you gonna start a
all the
GoFundMe
merch?
for $60,
bro. I will start a GoFundMe for everything.
I'm just saying, like,
The merch, the production, the album. Let's do it.
I'm here
it's
too.
Start here. You heard it here first.
Unapologetic.
You
So
heard it
your
here
whole
first.
your whole project is gonna be based off of a GoFundMe support system, huh?
Look, brother, the importance of a team. We had this conversation already.
We did.
All right? We're gonna come together and make this thing possible.
Well, I know somebody who can help you with that, man.
Let's talk.
Shout out to the homie Colin Kaepernick, man. That's our next topic.
Boy, your boy got broke off. Your boy got broke off.
So,
Yes.
Transition.
so if y'all don't know, I know, right? So if y'all don't know, Colin Kaepernick settled with the NFL for undisclosed amount of money,
Undisclosed.
right?
That means a lot.
That means a lot. But here's the thing. This is the question, right? Is the NFL admitting guilt by settling?
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
So what
Oh,
happened
for
here?
sure.
So this is basically, Rick, this is your lane. So basically what happened
Talk
was
about
they all conspired to say we're not going to get this man another shot in the NFL.
Yeah.
So this is what they were overall claiming, right? So in the grievance, Kaepernick's attorney claimed that he had gone unsigned because the NFL and its owners colluded to deprive Mr. Kaepernick of employment rights in retaliation for Mr. Kaepernick's leadership and advocacy of equality and social justice, and his bringing awareness to particular institutions still undermining racial equality in the United States. And so that was the overall. That's the claim, right? So they basically denied him employment because he made a stance, right? And not only just one team, but the
Yeah.
whole entire NFL, right, colluded to deny him employment. And so not only him, but also Eric Reed for a time, right?
Yeah.
But Eric Reed has since been signed by the Carolina Panthers. Had a pretty decent season for them, right?
Yeah,
And so that's kind of been the overall thing. Now everybody has seen evidence, overarching evidence, right, that they've colluded against him. And what do I mean by that? So whenever an NFL team
Drop names, bro.
no problem. So whenever an NFL team needs new players, right? Like for instance, a quarterback gets hurt, he's the most talented available quarterback out there, right?
Yeah.
However, you've seen people sign like Mark Sanchez, right? Right? Like that's
Brought
fumble,
him
right?
out of retirement.
Yeah, brought him out of Josh
Come on.
Johnson, right? Like
What?
you've seen a
Who?
ton of
Who?
people, just randos,
Who?
right?
Yeah.
Just basically picked out of wherever and signed to contracts, right? And you haven't seen Colin Kaepernick's name brought up at all, right? RG3 has a job. Like I mean, not. not to say anything against RG3, but I'm just saying, right? Like, you look at a
Special
guy
cases.
as talented as Colin Kaepernick, and all of a sudden, right, you just kind of, you go away from him. There's a reason you're going away from him, right? And some people would say that they're going away from him for, you just don't want to mess up the chemistry of a team, but that's not why, right? I don't think that's it, because you bought on guys who have baggage, right? Kareem Hunt, who was in that very, very crazy situation, right?
Shout out to Cleveland.
Yeah, just got a second chance with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
It's obvious that they have been avoiding him, and a lot of people have come out and said stuff about it. But I believe that the settlement was somewhat of not somewhat, right? I think it's an outright victory.
He
right?
secured
It's an
the
outright
bag.
victory. Yeah.
Secured it.
Yeah. Now, in your own mind, what do you think he got?
Man, jeez. I
I'm
don't know.
gonna say north of like.
I can't even
I'm thinking
call it
this.
like
I'm thinking
80
this
to
close.
100?
I'm thinking it's close to the hundreds because
Yeah.
he's been out of the league for so long,
Yeah.
and his salary
You talking
might
about-
have been $25 million.
You
He's
talking
cost-
about the
he's
recouping,
cost him
right?
some money.
Yeah,
So,
but there's also damages to his. I mean,
Oh, for
this
sure.
is probably over 100.
Defamation
this
of
is probably
character.
over
You got all
100.
types of stuff going on.
It's probably over.
they
100.
haven't disclosed the amount, but I'll tell you what, people will have a clue to how much they got, because every single NFL team has to contribute, right? The Green Bay Packers will contribute. Yeah, everybody. So and equally contribute. The Green Bay Packers, right? What they'll do
The bag.
is they have to release their financial statements to their entire fan base, because their fans, I guess, are the people of that city, own the team. So when they release their financial documents, right, and everybody knows how much went into that settlement, then you can take that and calculate it by 32 to figure out how much they were able to get, right? But you don't know how much was given to Kaepernick versus how much is given to Eric
man.
Reed.
Eric Reed,
And
yeah.
so, I mean, at the same time, Eric Reed's still employed.
He's employed.
So Eric
yeah.
Reed's employed, and the NFLPA is basically coming out and saying they want, they're waiting for Colin Kaepernick to also get his opportunity. So the fact that he's gotten paid doesn't exclude him from being
Coming
a part.
back.
Yeah, it doesn't exclude him from coming back, right?
Should he come back as a player or a team owner?
So
Hey, chill out, man.
No, I'm so serious. I'm so serious.
I mean,
think about that.
That's big. That's big.
Think
but I
about
don't-
that.
He secured the bag. I don't
You
know
want to
about
stand in
buying
a
an
suit
NFL
next
team.
to the guys that tried to
Be the
deny
first
you.
black owner?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
but
they're gonna have to vote on that. And I doubt
be the
they,
first one.
I
Yeah,
doubt they
they're
let
all
that
white
happen.
owners.
I don't.
All black owners.
I
Would he
really
be the
don't know
first?
how much
You
he
know
got.
this.
he'd be the
right?
first black owner, right?
Yeah, he'd be the first. So I really don't know how much he got in that settlement. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
you don't. Nobody knows, and we'll know later on. But I don't know if it's enough to buy a team. But we're gonna find out.
I would get the check and call Diddy. Call Diddy and Jay-Z.
He might
Let's
buy
make this
AAF
happen.
team.
Let's make this happen.
He'll buy AAF
Because
team.
the
think
Panthers
that'll
almost
happen
got
first.
bought by them.
Oh,
When
yeah?
P. Diddy and Steph putting all together and every trying to make that happen.
Oh, okay.
And then it happened.
Yeah, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm
so
saying.
think about that, right?
Oh,
Like,
man.
come in with all the
Yeah.
money. I mean, that'd be a
Think
punch.
about that.
That'd be a slap in the face.
Wow.
Give me the check that you guys owe me, and I'm gonna buy one of your teams.
So
Straight up.
That's crazy.
the collusion is, I mean, it's the first time I've outright seen it, and
Yeah.
it can say, like without a shadow of a doubt, that this is what's going on,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
That they've all come together and basically just said nobody hire him. Like, just you
yeah.
get on the call, right? 32 people on it, and say, look, nobody hire Colin
Yeah,
Kaepernick,
yeah.
no matter what the
Wow.
situation
There's no
is.
reason he should
right?
be on the roster.
Wow.
So
No reason.
yeah, I mean, just over and
You
over.
don't
So,
got it's not even a starting quarterback. Well, there's no reason he shouldn't be on an NFL roster.
Yeah, I mean, he took San Francisco 49ers to the Super Bowl and almost won that thing.
Yeah.
So,
Twice.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, you're a 49ers fan, so you know this.
I'm a Raiders fan, but
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I know across the bridge.
I know how you.
It hurt when they
I
win.
know how you flip flop when the teams are hot.
Hey, chill out. Bro. We've been bad. What you talking about? Lakers ain't made the playoffs in 5 years, bro. We trying to get back.
The Lakers?
Yeah,
Are y'all still a thing?
chill out, bro. Don't even.
Mine-
Aren't you a Hawks fan?
Are y'all are y'all sending y'all's boy to the Pelicans?
No.
Y'all not?
Oh, which one?
you mean, are they getting him?
Are we
Yeah,
gonna get
yeah.
Anthony Davis?
No. Are y'all gonna give up?
I do not
Ball.
believe. I don't believe that our package will be as big as it just was.
Mhm.
It was a last ditch effort, like desperate. Hey, we need Anthony Davis right now before anybody else can get in this fight and try to get him.
Yeah.
So we gave him. I think the lasting offer was like 8 players,
Yeah.
including 6 players and 2 draft picks.
Yo,
But they're not gonna get a better offer than that.
LeVar Ball does not need
He's
a mic.
silly.
He
LeVar
doesn't-
is silly, man.
Yo, he was on. I heard
hilarious.
him on some sports show where he was talking about teaching LeBron the game.
Man, get out of here, bro.
I was like, whoa. That's crazy.
The best,
That
player,
dude
the
is
best player in the
crazy.
league. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Here's my question I want to ask everybody, right? Overall, if we look at the settlement of this case, right?
Yeah.
So does this do anything for racial tension, right? Overall in America, like does this change racial tension in America? Does this impact racial
No.
I
tension in
think
America?
it does, and let me tell you why it does. Right? Because there is, if the NFL is admitting fault, then they're also saying that they were wrong in many ways,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And so, telling these players that they can't take a knee, right, or telling these players that they can't do X, Y, Z, put their hand, take their hand down, or whatever they want to do, not come out of the locker room, is wrong, right? It's a violation. So, in my opinion, yes, this is going to get a massive group of people talking about, well, is it okay now? Can we do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
for
can
sure.
players go back to doing that if they want to? Because, quite honestly, I see why it's so important that this be a conversation, right? We know that there was a racist line of the Star Spangled Banner, and therefore, if you feel a certain way about that line, right, and that the fact that it's been hidden for so long, or not, or omitted but not taken away, then yeah, you got something to worry about. So
It's just in the part we don't sing, right? And so I'm gonna kind of go a little bit different because I feel like there'll be no real impact, and I'll tell you why I feel like that, right? I do know that this is a major win for Colin Kaepernick. It's a major win for Eric Reed. It's a major win for everybody who has kind of been along that same path of protesting, right? So all the other guys are players who decided to use their platform to bring attention to, inequality in America. I think it is a win for them, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it impacts everybody because I think the details of the case are discreet, right? Like the details of what happened and what they're admitting and kind of what's being given and how big the win is, all that stuff is just kind of under wraps. So
but
I
that's
don't-
what's worse
I'm not
for them.
sure.
That's what's worse for them because now everybody can just speculate what they want.
Yeah.
They can just say, oh, you know what? They're guilty of this. They're guilty of that. And a large group of people, like we talked about last week, cancel culture or whatever. You can actually cancel out what people are thinking, right? Or what might be fair, and say, okay, they are guilty of this, and this. And then I'll tell you another thing too. This is also, in my opinion, NFL owners telling people to shut up, right? Because this whole thing has been about racial tensions. It's been about that. It's been about don't let your players do this. Don't let your players do that. Ben Roethlisberger was one of the ones who stood up for his team members. And so, in a way, it's like, shut up. And it's also going back to the Nike commercial, right? Everybody who was burning socks and burning off their clothes, whatever, silly, is now being told, you were wrong. This is happening. It happened.
Yeah.
And shut up. That's how I feel about it.
I think it's the next step that is going to be paramount. What Colin decides to do with whatever bag he secured, how much money he gets, if it's re-signing with the team, if it's being open to putting Colin Kaepernick on a roster, if it's him headlining an effort where it goes against racial tension. So I think that's going to be a big decision on what he does because he's already made that pledge beforehand to say, look, this is what I'm standing for. This is what I'm going to give to
But
you.
he's not forced to be quiet about the situation.
Oh, for sure.
Like that's a part of the overall agreement, right? Him and Eric Reed are.
Well, I'm saying not to speak on the situation or speak on what he got paid or the contents of the case. I'm saying, what is your next step to continue to be an advocate for what you stood
equality.
for in the
Gotcha,
first place?
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So you think it empowers Kaepernick and empowers the Kaepernick movement?
I think
is.
I think it's a definite win for the exact reason he began kneeling in the first place. Not to say that not to say that things have changed or things have made this gigantic difference, but it does shed light on what he was standing for in the first place. And I think what's going to happen from this is it may be questions about the being the advocacy of what it is exactly, but I think it's definitely going to push what he been this whole thing in the first place.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes because, in my opinion,
let me hold something, Colin.
Yeah, too. But if he does return to the league as a quarterback, does he stop? Is he been told to stop? Like, is he still gonna kneel?
That's a great question.
No, I'll tell you the way I think they'll deal with this, and the way I think even Eric Reed, right? I think basically this. I feel like if Colin comes back, he'll just not come out during that time. right? Just to avoid the whole situation, or they will stop putting those games on
TV.
Yeah, stop putting that time of the game on television, right?
Yeah.
Because that didn't start until recently,
Yeah.
but we started playing, or at least having that videotape. That's not a thing, or it wasn't a thing for a while.
So
now it's a thing.
But the other question is, you got the fans, right? So the fans, are they going to want him back in another city for another team?
Now there are fans who do, right? But there's a bunch of people who canceled the NFL, right? We talked about cancel culture. They canceled the NFL because of this situation. There's a lot of fans who did. They just start coming back around like this year. Does that make sense? Like all of last year was the whole vibe, right? They were canceling the NFL because of that. There are a lot of stars who didn't, do stuff because of this injustice. There's a lot of that, right? So a lot of the support that the NFL used to get, like the star support, right? The media star support, they lost a lot of that, right? This can, bring those people back a little bit, right? But if Colin comes back, then you bring all that back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But if he does come back, then I really feel like he'll just not be on camera during that time, or he'll try his best to avoid that situation.
Well, I think the question is going to be now, since we've got to this agreement, we've paid you this amount of money. Does it? I've paid you. Now, just be quiet about it.
Well, he has to.
Let's go back.
He agreed to that.
Well, not even just the concept of the case, but like, are we still going to be fighting for racial inequality? Once he gets back, and I'm talking about the status of the NFL, like because you can see the disparity between the NBA and NFL when it comes to those type of issues, where the NBA players they have this freedom to speak about and even being in the middle of Black History Month, we're being able to talk. The NBA goes out of their way to be able to push these type of things.
Yeah.
The NFL has just hasn't done that. And you saw that when he took a knee. There was nothing that came out that said, we stand for what he believes in. That's his decision. It was never anything like that.
Right.
For me to give you a check and pay you all this money, and then to say don't talk about it anymore. Now what is the culture of the NFL going to be now at this point? Moving past.
You should have paid attention to the NFL commercials during the whole Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Man, whatever.
No, I'm just saying the entire time, right? The entire time, all they were basically saying is, we African Americans, we're inclusive of all people. I'm dead serious. Like,
I gotta go back.
If you paid attention to what their overall statement is, we're not racist. Like every statement was weird. Come on, guys, we're not racist.
I think the NFL kind of does a bad job at getting behind a situation when it's a little too late. Or it's already we know we got to look better to you guys. So even domestic violence, right?
Let's make
like those
effort.
commercials came out, and like the football players are like throwing the ball to each other, and they're like, "I don't support domestic violence. I don't support domestic." You know what I mean? I'm like that just to me is a little too late.
Like you guys just fired somebody for it. Like we know,
we
know you don't. He doesn't play in the NFL anymore.
But it's almost like it should be a little bit more discreet.
Oh, for sure.
Right? It should be a little bit more discreet.
I think this and this might be this might be bold, but I think that Roger Goodell should definitely give Adam Silver a call and be like,
and figure, hey,
how do you implement what you're doing?
Tell the people who those people are.
Oh, he's the commissioner of the NBA.
Yeah.
So what that means is everything that you see from T-shirts to the Black History Month promos, the things that the NBA is doing right now currently is absolutely amazing. Check out the NBA, the app, NBA.com, whatever. But I would see it to benefit Roger if he said, you know what, let me give a call to Adam and see exactly
how they're dealing with this.
How do you guys do it in such a way where it's still it still benefits and you don't lose people?
I mean, the biggest thing I think they do is the support they give to veterans and the support they give to the breast cancer awareness, right?
Yeah.
And to me, that was like, that's easy, right? That's something that we expect. It's something that looks good, even just to have them wearing pink Nikes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It looks good. But the commercials feel so forced, right? Like, hey, we got to look better now, so let's come up with a PR plan to make us look good, right? And then I think there's a lot of commercials out there where you kind of almost have to dissect and be like, what was the meaning of that? With the NFL, it's just like cut and dry. Like,
but you got to think, man, these NFL owners, they're the time that they come from.
Out of touch.
This stuff is, when they have these conversations with each other, they all feel the same way.
Maybe that's what they don't need to do, have the conversation with each other.
And that's the thing. But still, if I don't have the conversation with you, I still feel the same way. My belief doesn't change because I don't talk to anybody about it. So the fact that you can actually hear an NFL owner come out and talk, I think it was like a slave statement or like a prisoner type of statement. Like they like we own them. Like they're gonna do
Oh
what we
yeah,
tell
yeah,
them
yeah.
to
I
do.
saw that. I heard
That's it. And that is something that's collect. That wasn't a meeting,
Mhm.
and it wasn't like somebody was like, oh no, I don't believe in that. It was like, oh, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Yo,
Like, that was the feeling in that.
I want to address Camille. Camille is on Trackstarz on live on Trackstarz live on YouTube. She's saying first off, this didn't become debate fuel. Just by the way, right? But she did say, did they apologize in the overall settlement? And do you believe this is just a way as a cop out for the NFL?
For
and
sure.
it is
It's
a bit of
easier.
a cop out. Yeah, it's easy.
These NFL owners, they're billionaires. They don't care about how much we got to give them.
Yeah.
Well, is he gonna be quiet after this? that's basically what it is. There's nothing else from that. What you need? How much you need, brother? Give me a sec. How much I gotta give?
Look,
Like,
now they've been coming out of pocket a lot though,
Oh,
right?
for
Because
sure.
not only are they paying Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed, but they also paid what's this guy's name? Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah,
Right. Malcolm
yeah.
Jenkins led a whole entire
Remember that,
protest
yeah,
as well,
remember
right?
that.
And he got paid off. Well, not straight up paid off, but he basically had the NFL give money to their overall pledge to bring equality or bring attention to inequality in America. So that was one time they paid somebody off, and now they're paying Colin Kaepernick off. So this is becoming expensive. For the NFL overall,
But
right?
why not just talk about it? I don't understand why. Why should I write a check and throw money at you rather than have a conversation about racial inequality in America?
Because
why
that's
are
not
you
the-
so afraid of having that
Because
conversation?
that's not the point, though.
Yeah, this wouldn't be an issue if you just if somebody hired the man,
Yeah.
right? Then this wouldn't be a thing.
You wouldn't even be talking about it.
But
You
but
would
the
be
only
bringing up a
problem is
checkbook.
no team wants to do that. Like no team wants to be the team to go out and hire Colin Kaepernick. Did you see what happened with Nike?
Yeah.
Like people start burning socks.
Did you hear about the guy? He
Burning
stopped
shoes.
selling Nike in his store.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
his store shutting down. Now he was like, I think he had a statement like walking into an auto parts store and not having like auto parts. Like that's the equivalent of not having Nike in your store. And it was like, but I stood on my principles and I didn't support them having a Colin
Just
Kaepernick
turn your
commercial.
TV
So
off
now
on
your
Sunday.
business is closed because some black man stood up
When
for
did-
racial inequality. It doesn't make any sense.
I have a question. When did we start getting so far into these things to where people are like, I'm standing on my principle. I'm voting with my wallet. It's just
Yeah,
like,
like
this
what-
is a business, dude.
Yeah.
You want to support, you say you're on the side of these NFL owners
Yeah.
because they're trying to run their business.
Yeah.
And then you get to your business
Yeah.
and you don't run it right. They still making
they
that money.
still making
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
I'm still a billionaire.
Yeah, it's not like they're closing their doors.
Yeah, that's real.
I don't get that
That's silly,
mentality.
man.
Let me shut down everything.
Yeah.
For, it's like when
But
man looks
but
silly.
you gotta so in the NFL you're right about that, right? They are okay. So for instance, let's just say it's whoever signs them, right? Let's say it's Carolina, whoever would sign Colin Kaepernick. Even it depends on where you are. You can immediately lose almost half your fan base.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like people would like start either protesting or stop coming to the games or something like that. If you go ahead and hire Colin Kaepernick, yes, we got a chance to see with the whole Trump thing. We saw racial tension really rise, but also we heard like the outright cries from people who had been silent about their racism.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
What are
And so
progressive
now,
cities, though?
say it again.
Was that what are progressive cities though?
You said where progressive city?
Like you were talking about, depending on where you are in reference to the NFL team and the city that they're in. What cities would you say like they can sign Colin Kaepernick and their fan base will be like, yeah.
They need a quarterback. They're tired of losing and they
Well,
want to
that's
go.
the thing because that's not going to be an issue.
I think San Fran can.
because it's not. It's
I
not.
think
gonna,
Atlanta can.
It's not going to be.
no.
We need a quarterback.
New
It's gonna
Orleans
be like,
can't.
That's Colin.
New Orleans
You see what I'm
can't.
saying? So I mean, would you say like a LA or like a
I can see him
Yeah,
going.
city
yeah,
like
you could
that,
do it in
something
LA.
like that?
Mhm.
Yeah, he
All
would
the-
have to go
all
to
the
a
blue
city where
states.
diversity. He would have to go to a city where diversity is big.
For sure.
But he also needs to go somewhere where like the fans are like, "Yo, we need a ring," or no, okay, that's bad. we need a
That's Atlanta.
championship.
That's it.
you go to Philly.
Stop it. Nothing wrong with our quarterback. He's great.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
His name is great too.
Yeah, he's great.
But what I'm
You
saying,
spend all the money on him.
hold on.
The rest of it.
Hold on.
Somebody like I'm trying to think of a team out there that needs a quarterback. That just comes to
It's
mind.
a lot of teams.
You can send him to any of the Florida teams. We all struggle with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
So that's
you
another
go.
thing,
There
right?
you go.
Jacksonville.
There you go. He can go to
Jacksonville.
Miami
Jaguars.
and do good.
We'll take what we
He can go
get.
to Miami and
But
do good.
Camille brings up a point. Is there an outright apology? And there is
That's-
no
that's big.
apology.
There's no apology.
Does that make sense?
The
Like, this
apology
is-
to them is we signed a checkbook.
Yeah.
It's quiet. Nobody outright says that. Yes, we colluded,
Yeah.
and we colluded. We did want to make sure he didn't get signed, or we did make sure that nobody signed him, and we admit that. This is a silent admission of guilt, but it's not. It would be better for the fight and for everything if they outright admitted guilt, but they don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's because that's
So-
part of the clause. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do
Look,
that.
at the end of the day, Roger caught Adam, bro.
Yeah.
Make this thing
So
happen.
here's what I point out, right? I think that this was well orchestrated by God, right? This man sat out. He stood up for something he believed in. He cost him his job, right? It cost him a lot of different things.
Cost
but
him
then,
everything.
And this has been over like maybe 3-4 year period, maybe longer.
3 years?
No, it's been like
years?
2 years. What? 2 to 3
Maybe
years?
Maybe
Yeah,
longer than
2
that.
to 3 years.
2 or 3 years. And so, but it's been longer than that. He's been off a team though, right? Because then he had some issues.
No,
When did he get dropped from 49ers?
I can't remember that.
He wasn't.
I can't remember. I think it's been. I
Was
think
he
it's
with
been.
San Fran when he sat? Oh, he was. He was.
So all I'm
Yeah,
saying
hasn't
is
it
this
been
is
3
a good example of how you have to be patient and
I
wait
can
on
tell you.
God.
For
You have
sure.
to understand that
That's good.
things might not always be comfortable,
Yeah.
but He
Make it
will
biblical.
always
Come on,
find a
dog.
way. No, you have to
Amen.
because this is
Yeah.
this is God in the works,
Amen.
right?
This is
And so
patience.
no matter how you look at it, whether or not you feel like money shouldn't be connected to this situation and me communicating a message about God and,
Yeah, yeah.
and the fact that He got reparations for something, but it's to show you a bigger picture than just him getting the checkbook and
That's
just
good.
getting the money. It's the fact that
It took time.
it took time. He sacrificed for something. He was ridiculed. I'm pretty sure he couldn't go anywhere where he felt safe
Oh, for
a
sure.
very long time, and
Yeah.
probably still. And so now you've got a point
he's
where
safe.
Uber Eats
you're
for the
seeing God kind of restore him a little bit,
Yeah.
and he may come back as an owner or something bigger, and he could be a general manager or something.
Yeah.
But he can actually be. This could actually be the path to make the change, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he could be the person who started that. And the sacrifice was
what the
giving up
devil
the
meant
job.
for harm. Come on.
So you're
now,
saying
Yes.
as Christians
Come on.
we shouldn't. You're saying as Christians we shouldn't be afraid to stand up for what we believe in, right? And also be ready for whatever the long haul fight is.
Yeah.
That is definitely what I'm saying. But what I'm also trying to get people to understand is that just be patient and wait on God, because you're gonna get to an uncomfortable spot. I was in an uncomfortable spot when I lost my job, and I'm thinking, man, the grass is never gonna be green again, and the
Yeah,
grass
yeah.
is definitely greener on the
Yeah.
other side of patience, prayer, waiting.
So was it something that you heard from God when you lost your job? In speaking to that situation, because I want to make sure that as you're talking about
Yeah.
patience, it's okay, God, I heard what you said. Now I'm moving on what you said. I'm trusting what you said. Because oftentimes what happens is God will tell you to do something and you do it, and then you begin to doubt it because
Yeah.
it's not returning the fruit that you thought it would initially.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? 2.5
Yes.
years, 3 years. I've seen people who've been praying for things for 15, 20 years, haven't seen anything,
Yeah.
and it happened then.
Yeah.
So I think the patience thing is a big thing, but was it something there at the beginning when?
Yeah,
you
you
know.
know what? I don't think I've ever publicly shared this on the show, or maybe I've had a conversation with Sean Jeremiah in the past, and maybe even Rick in the past. But I was working in secular radio. I was working at 107.9 in Atlanta, and we were the largest hip hop station in Atlanta at one time. And so the problem was, I was married to that image, right, of working for the top station and being at all the events and being known around the city for the things that I did in sales and promotions and driving that big vehicle with the wrap on it and all that kind of stuff. And I remember when I lost it, when my job laid me off, I never felt like I was ever going to get back to that place where I was proud of what I was doing.
That's good. Okay.
And over time, I appreciate Trackstarz so much more than I appreciate what I learned at Radio 1 or what I did there. Now, the reason I appreciate it is because I think we're bigger than that.
For sure.
I think the ability to win souls to Christ and the ability to be able to talk about all the great things that the artists are doing around us is bigger
The purpose
than
is
what 107.9 is
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
out there, and the
Yeah.
music and the artists and the money that was
Yeah.
tied to it. I think all of that is like a wash compared to what God is doing right now. So
You're
yeah,
seeing the fruit of it.
I'm seeing the fruit of it,
that's good.
but I have to admit I was nervous.
Yeah, for sure.
I was nervous because
Why wouldn't you be?
I woke up like nobody cares who I am anymore. Nobody cares about what I do. Nobody cares
Yeah.
about what I did to get to
Yeah.
the places that I was able to frequent. And
Yeah.
I was on my 4th promotion,
Yeah.
hired at the age of 19, 6-month intern there. and I was terrified.
Yeah,
I was
so
terrified.
So in that, you would say God was doing something with your image.
Oh yeah, and God allowed me to see an identity that I thought I had, and He completely like rewrapped it. But that's what I'm saying. Like this is a clear voice of God to tell me I'm leaving. This is what you're gonna do, and to push me in a different direction. So I definitely felt that.
Yeah, definitely, man. I would even say, just to give encouragement to anybody who is going through any type of struggle, any type of trial, that God has a purpose in it. And you may not be able to see it right now or what's happening, but God is moving in those struggles. He can often use those struggles to bring you out and end up for His glory.
Absolutely.
Good stuff,
absolutely. Man. Yep. All right, we're going to get back into some more music. You're in the field with the Track Stars. Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
Hey, Mom. Finally feel better. Stop doing this ass. Stop taking a value when I feel like I can finally wake up and enjoy life for what it is. So, I'm out here in LA, and I'm happy.
And I don't wanna come back down from this cloud. And taking my time from a semi-charmed life, something don't feel right. Yeah. And I don't wanna come back down from this cloud. I'm burning through all these lines to find what I don't need. Yeah. I never needed you, didn't need a sign. Chasing pipe dreams, wasted hella time. But I made it back, plus a double mind. Thank you for the ride, came up with a dime. When I see you, I'ma bless you. Don't be sorry, man, life is like a chess move. Know they always hit me the best. What's my next move? I put in work, yeah, I pay that price daily. I love my girl cause everyone else think I'm crazy. See, when you're down, nobody knows you and it's crazy. But now I'm up the phone, me blowing up late.
He said, man, look, you know we love to have you. I came back a couple months ago to lead. They flew me out or whatever, and it was like, we want you to lead on this Sunday, blah, blah, blah. I'm guessing they saw the growth, like, from when I was with them. And they're just like, man, you coming back? What's up? And I was just like, I don't know, it didn't feel as definite as it did, 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I basically was just like, we haven't really given any thought to it. We're praying about where God wants us at right now when we're back. Because, you look at it as well, even speaking to, like, being patient and God using those struggles and trials to kind of build you up and create you and mold you to the person that He wants you to be. At the same time, like, there was a reason we left the first time. And it wasn't a bad reason, we were just moving in a different direction. So, maybe God is bringing us back full circle to Westmead.
Yeah.
I haven't had that definite, like, that's what we need to be.
Yeah. You've been in Mount Karen, right?
Say it again?
Mount Karen?
I have. Yeah.
That's
up in
where I go.
so you at now? It's in Kennesaw?
It's Atlanta. It's right.
Oh, Atlanta. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah. I got you.
It's kind of far from you, but
yeah. I used to hoop there. Tuesdays, I think. Tuesday nights.
Oh, really?
Something like that. Yeah. I haven't been there. God knows how long, man. But we're just praying.
Yeah.
Where God wants us to be at, man. That's wherever we can help out and be helpful in that role, man. We're big on service and being a part of that church. A church home is big for us, So whatever it looks like, man, we're gonna see, bro. So we're praying about it for sure. Oh yes, ma'am.
Now, as you sit here, that way I can turn up my mic in case you got something to say.
Right now. You want to have one? Oh, that's fine. Kyrie's gonna play. Ooh, nice. Oh man, Kyrie's playing. You heard Luka might be an all-star. 80 got injured, so he can't play with his shoulder.
Oh, so I should probably tell y'all what we're talking about.
Yeah, I was about to say. 80 said
justice for R. Kelly. Like, bringing justice to him. Have y'all heard about the most recent this week?
That there's another video that
just
got
Yeah.
Ladies, I'm gonna let you go ahead and spearhead this one. I'm gonna sit right here and
man.
I'm gonna formulate some things in my head.
Lord.
Make sure what I say is right.
You want me to read the report?
Yeah.
That's
I mean, you can
crazy.
read. Yeah, you can read a little bit of the report if you want to.
Just
Mic is so far
straight up. Here.
out. I don't want to pour this.
Maybe just for the victims.
Is he?
Not for Rob.
Strapped down like that? No, like Justice, like bringing it, like putting this man behind bars. Finally.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
What you got? Justice with.
You said justice for R.
out of your
Kelly.
mind?
You said justice for the victim. You said justice for R. Kelly.
Justice
See,
for R.
see,
Kelly.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think you're
Bringing-
saying that right.
Okay, so
Justice
all right.
for R. Kelly is
Yeah,
like
the way
Hold
you
on,
say
bro.
it.
Yeah,
bringing
The
justice
way. Okay.
to R. Kelly,
bringing justice to R. Kelly. There we go.
not for
I don't
R.
know. We
Kelly.
got. I don't know how to put it.
How to properly say it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To formulate that right.
because justice for R. Kelly is not.
served.
Yeah.
Justice served to R. Kelly. Is that gonna be the name of it?
I don't know.
That sounds better than justice for Robert. Robert Kelly.
Who's the surviving R. Kelly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't even get to watch. I saw like bits and pieces. I was just like, this
Word.
It's
I couldn't
crazy.
watch it.
You couldn't watch it?
Monster, boy.
I watched the whole thing.
I was the whole
and
thing,
I
too.
was blown
I might be
away.
crazy.
And then,
I almost
you know,
rewatched the whole
and then
thing.
we heard more things being from Detroit because, you know, Aaliyah came back to
Oh,
Detroit
yeah.
and she went to DSA and she was in high school around the same time I was. And so there's a lot of things you would hear and it's
Well, you
just,
got a unique perspective.
yeah.
Amen.
So it's
Drop
it's,
knowledge, boo.
See, that's why I.
Make sure you
Y'all
mention
need to be on.
I will.
from Detroit.
I didn't ask y'all if this is okay. Is this okay with y'all?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay,
It's fine.
okay.
Totally fine.
And she watched the whole thing. It's good.
Okay. I wasn't sure if
I'm
y'all
about to go
actually.
live, actually.
I'm sure if y'all weren't actually like sure y'all wanted to be on the radio like that.
All I know is I love that.
Thank
That's
you.
tough.
Appreciate it. I got a few.
But when meeting you all, I didn't think either one of you were introverts. I was like, oh, I can do.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Cool. Good. I appreciate
Definitely not.
it.
Well, I wouldn't say it's not for introverted. Sean's introvert.
No, I'm talking about between the two of them.
Yeah.
Like asking them to come to the mics now. The
Yeah,
last-
you could
Yeah.
say Mike's period. Yeah, that's tough. But they, I mean, there was nodding and amen and over and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We
yeah.
knew.
Yeah.
We knew.
I'm a
I got
fan.
called out by
Big
an
fan of
introvert
the
yesterday
show.
at my job.
That's how I
Every
do.
time-
That's how I do.
Because we were amen.
How much?
Yeah, I know if I need to
What?
shut up or
30
not. I
seconds.
feel. I
30
saw the
seconds?
heads in the corner. I was kind of
30
like,
seconds.
I can nod.
Oh yeah. Hold up. You got a power cord? You have a power cord?
Huh?
For
Power
the
cord.
iPhone.
Power cord.
I recorded what? I let him die.
Yeah.
I don't.
We
Gotta
on
be a
three.
cord in here somewhere.
What we looking like? Yeah. Bad.
Go behind the computer.
Slide.
Oh, bet.
Bad. Let's see if it accepts it.
Well, I was gonna
Yeah.
lie too, but I need to take
Is it working?
Huh?
Is it working?
You need juice?
It's
Is
working.
it
No, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, you're in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. This segment is sponsored by Nectar Distribution. It's on and popping with Nectar Distribution.
Yeah.
man. You can go to www.nectardistro.com. You can sign up for Basic or Plus today. Everything you want out of music distribution, we have that offer for you, even including opportunities to advertise with us. So make sure that you go to www.nectardistro.com, get signed up. I'm sitting next to some of the Nectar elites right now. Miles Austin, Rick Sincere,
What's that nectar
Lamar
sign?
James over there. The Nectar sign. I don't know if we want to do all that. We might get in trouble for that. All right. So we are finally at the point right now in a pivotal moment in entertainment where we might actually see justice served to R. Kelly. Have y'all heard the latest about what's been going on with your boy?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rick, go ahead and bring us into it.
All right. So so overall, there's a new tape, right? So first off, there's a new tape. And it's a new tape. It's not the same exact tape that everybody used to stand around and debate about, right? It's not that standard definition tape that we used to debate about. I think this is a new high definition tape that's out now, so we can all see what's going on. So that's one thing, right? And so this new tape has brought about. I mean, there's always been these allegations, right? But now there's new life, I guess, to the overall case. And there's an investigation going on currently. And so this is a letter or statement made by Michael Avenatti, right?
Yeah, just say Michael V.
Michael, no, it's Michael A.
Avenatti.
Avenatti. So
Avenatti.
Avenatti. Right, he's
Why did-
basically. I mean, it's just what it is. So, so he's basically. He's making a new statement, and this is his statement. It reads somewhat like this: Approximately 10 months ago, in April 2018, my office was retained by multiple clients in connection with allegations of sexual assault of minors by musical artist Robert Kelly. Following our retention, We proceeded to thoroughly and quietly investigate the allegations through witness interviews and the examination of documents and evidence throughout the United States. Due to the importance of ensuring justice is finally done in this matter, and because we are deeply concerned that Mr. Kelly has not been held accountable for his sexual abuse of young African American girls whom are especially vulnerable, we have done so on a pro bono basis. Importantly, it has now resulted in the discovery of significant new evidence conclusively establishing Mr. Kelly's illegal sexual assault of young girls. Included in the evidence we've recently uncovered and recovered is a VHS videotape, well, maybe not in HD now, of of Mr. Kelly engaging in multiple sexual assaults of a girl underage. This tape, which is clear, so maybe, is approximately 45 minutes in length and has never previously been publicly disclosed until recently has never previously been publicly disclosed or until recently provided to law enforcement. So they've given this over to law enforcement now. Importantly, this conclusive video is underlined not the same evidence previously seen and used in connection with the prior criminal matter in which Mr. Kelly was charged, nor does it depict the same instance of sexual assault. Further, the time frame of the sexual assault depicted in the video is within the Illinois statute of limitations, so it's definitely live. All right, our work has been painstaking, detailed, expensive, and time-consuming. Mr. Kelly is a predator and a criminal who has preyed on young, vulnerable girls for far too long. The time has come for him to finally be held accountable for his actions. Now, I did not read a entire paragraph there, right? So there's a little bit more detail to this overall statement. However, CNN released a report where they basically said this, right? That the client, so Avenatti. All right, cool. Said my client, he is a client, right? He is a whistleblower inside the R. Kelly camp. He said, my client knows the identity of the girl and R. Kelly. He identified the two of them on the videotape he worked for and has known R. Kelly for decades. And he met the girl on numerous occasions, right? And R. Kelly is seen in the video consistently referring to the girl's, parts as 14-year-old parts. So
what?
Yeah. He calls it out. I mean, if you watched, and you talked about this, right? You saw the video. If you watched the video, right? If you watched the documentary Surviving R. Kelly, you saw that R. Kelly has a problem with videotaping. He loves to do this, right? He loves to videotape. It was only a matter of time before one of the videotapes got out, right? It was only a matter of time. Right. And on top of that, right, not only does he love to videotape, but apparently he likes to talk during the videos, right? So now he's saying what he's doing, right? He's outright saying it the only way, right? I don't see a way where you kind of avoid this or get out of this situation without being brought to justice in this case. I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm deeply disturbed that the first one was acquitted. Really, to be honest with you, I mean, it just kind of goes show you the powers of force and number and fame and money, and that's the problem we have. But I mean, it says something when the Department of Justice doesn't take a check. It says that you might be in some hot water. Like they might be coming for him at this point, especially with all the man hours that article said that they've been putting into this, and just the fact that it's just so. As a father of 3 girls, it's just disgusting, and I really hope that, like, when you and I were discussing this, I was saying, you said something. It was very interesting. You were saying, is this a situation where people are working to bring down this black man? And I was like, I don't care if it is a situation, right? I don't care if people are trying to come for him for some kind of racial, tension or whatever. I don't care, because at this point, he needs to be caught for this. He needs to be in jail, locked away. This is terrible stuff. And the fact that he's been getting away with it for so long, it's despicable. I can't imagine being more angered as a father. But I mean, look at all the women that have been listening to this unfold and thinking to themselves, like, when? How? Why is it happening, and how's he getting away with this?
So that's the major question, right? How is he getting away with this? You have a unique perspective, right? So come talk to us. You said that Aaliyah, right? So Aaliyah, you what's the connection there?
Well, growing up in Detroit, she moved back at the same time that I was in high school. She was in high school, and so of course, all the rumors and speculation, you know, that she was with R. Kelly and, you know, they got married, which later on proved out to be true. So you heard all these rumors, you heard all these things, and you seen, you know, how Aaliyah would interact with people, you know, when she returned to the city and things like that. And it's interesting to me because it's been known. You know what I mean? And so it's like dividing my mind between the legal perspective and the Christian perspective. You know, the first case, unfortunately, was acquitted because there wasn't enough tangible evidence to give a complete, like, without a reasonable doubt, yes, this is him in this video. And that's the reason why it got acquitted. Plus, the victim didn't show for her portion of the testimony, which, I mean, as a woman, you're already feeling violated, abused, people questioning you. I'm pretty sure insecurity played an issue in her even entertaining the relationship. And then you want me to come and stand in front of court and just, again, open up this big, large room. So I can understand why she wouldn't show. So it's just, I couldn't even watch the documentary.
But didn't she denied, right?
Who denied?
Yeah, she denied it
The
being her.
14-year-old girl was like,
Yeah.
Her whole family
yeah,
denied
everybody
it.
denied it.
Except for Sparkle, because it was supposed to be
Her niece.
her niece, right?
Mm-hmm.
How was this viewed at that time, right? Like, how was the relationship? Because I think overall, right, just as a complete, I don't know, I don't want to speak for the whole black race, right? But I think a lot of people just kind of gave a blind eye to it, right? How was it viewed even in your hometown, the relationship between those two?
It was not a blind eye. It was like, whoa, she did something, almost like it was taboo, but it wasn't like as horrible as you should have taken it. It was almost like, oh, she was with this older guy, and you know, and it was this. I can only speak from my high school as well. There was this obsession or like idealization about being with someone that's older, they're more mature, and all this other kind of things. But the significance of the age difference, I think, was bigger in this situation. But it was almost like it was taboo. It happened, and people wanted to know more about it. So I know that there were people, like I knew someone that went to DSA, and they used to always be like, want to joke with Aaliyah and say stuff like, oh yeah, so were you really with R. Kelly? And she would just walk away and not even address it because, again, at that time, it wasn't confirmed that it had actually happened. So it was almost like people knew about it, but it wasn't as horrific as it should have been. You know what I mean? I think now that all these other women have come forward and there has been this documentary series, it is considered more horrific now because you see the pattern, you see the thought behind it, the efforts behind, you know, trying to set these things up, and it's bad.
So I got a question. What is it going to take for people to stop listening to the music? What is it going to take? Is the conviction going to be enough for people to be like, yo?
It's going to be
Man,
hard.
after seeing that documentary, I think I'm done. I can't, because I can't listen to the music and not think about those instances of him talking about those girls in those songs, because if you look at the documentary, they say that most of those songs were based on those situations he had with those girls. Yeah. And I can't even listen to Age Ain't Nothing But a Number anymore. I heard that come on the radio the other day, and I was just like, dang, my heart feels heavy hearing that song, just knowing what it might be about. So I think I'm done.
It's tough though.
It is. Why is he
tough.
Why is he such a monster, and why is he so talented? Right? Like, why is that? Why are those two combinations the outcome of this situation?
Those are different.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I'm saying
those are two different things.
Well, no, when I say he's a monster behind closed doors, right?
Yeah.
But he's just a super talent when it comes to the art.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think those things are.
But it's keeping a blind eye on his situation. Like, people are streaming his music. People are streaming his music. People are giving him a pass. People are still going to his concert.
And
they're he's trumping them too, because he's saying stuff like, I don't know why my concert was canceled. You know, did you see his Instagram live? Where he was like, concerts canceled. I don't know why.
But his streams went up after the documentary.
But there's a reason for that, right? We talked about this before. The reason for that is because a lot of the people who were watching the documentary weren't around.
Who R. Kelly is.
They weren't here for that.
Yeah. Nobody who was born after 2000 really understands who R. Kelly is.
Everybody knows.
They weren't here for that.
Every young person knows Tupac's catalog.
No, they don't.
They do.
That's also false.
They do.
That's not true at all.
They do.
They know.
I'm assuming that.
They know Lil Uzi's catalog.
They know who he is.
They know who he
catalog.
is.
Yeah.
They know who he is.
No,
but for
they
$1
don't know
million
his catalog.
but
His
for
catalog.
$1 million, if you were to say who's
Do the
the
research.
artist of this song,
Do the research.
they would know it.
Do the
It
research.
depends on the song,
If
though.
you
Wait,
say Hail
it
Mary,
depends on the
wait,
if
song.
you
look,
say
wait.
Brenda's got a baby,
Wait.
if you say Dear
Bro,
Mama,
bro.
they're gonna know who
Look,
that is.
I'm here
And
for
his
it.
voice is legendary
This
too.
is
Yeah.
true.
So
No, stop it. Look, I'm here for it. No,
Is it
I'm
not?
here for the research. No, watch this. I would do the research, right? Go out and ask about 30 young kids. If they know,
We had Foggy Raw, we had Caleb Mitchell all sitting at the table.
they might not be young
and
enough.
They
Ask
mentioned
young kids.
Tupac was an
Those
influence.
are 90s babies.
Yo,
I'm a
ask-
90s babies. That's why I know.
ask
These
young
we're talking
kids.
about
Tupac is an
kids.
we
influence.
talking about Generation Z.
Yeah,
Exactly.
ask them.
2000s
So wait a
and
minute,
past.
You really
Nah, I'ma
think
go find 'em, and
you
I'ma
really
ask them.
think 14-year-old kids right now are out watching that documentary when it says this documentary has explicit content and viewer discretion is advised?
but that
and
don't
no
mean
one
they know
under
who
the-
he
a
is.
mature
No,
audience?
that don't mean that they know who you talking about.
All I'm saying is it was us watching that documentary. So if the
okay.
stream went up,
Okay.
it was us.
No.
It was
The
it
streams.
Was, it
no,
was
it wasn't
90s
us.
babies. It was
wasn't
80s
us.
babies.
No, it's not outright us, the ones who are going back and listening to all R. Kelly songs. I think it was the people who didn't know.
I
Like
think
those
it was
pe-
research too, as
Yeah,
well.
research,
Trying
like,
to listen to those words to those
Yeah.
songs.
That might be,
Where in
that
this did I
might be the
miss it?
case, but I'm not gonna say that.
I think it's
our
the young
younger
kids who didn't know.
generation is out there trying to figure out who R. Kelly is.
They are trying to figure it out.
I don't think they
They
this
need to
documentary
figure it out
mattered
because
to
they're the
them.
target.
I don't think this documentary mattered to them.
Facts.
They need to know.
Facts.
Facts. That's good.
I'm dead serious,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like if you 14, 15, you need to go listen. Like figure out. I know who this is. Stay away from him. Like I'm serious.
I'm in Chicago. I can't go back
You
to
need
Chicago,
look.
Atlanta.
All I'm saying is a lot of like and look. I saw this. Jada Pinkett, right? She came out. She had a video on Instagram. If you follow her Instagram page, she's always on there talking about different stuff, right? So she was distraught, right? Just like you, right? Like upset because his streams went up and his music plays went up and like all that kind of
Jada
stuff went up.
Pinkett?
Jada
Yeah.
Pinkett Smith
Yeah.
was very upset about this whole situation, right? And when she look, I feel like somebody delivering tea or something, but no, when she was on her thing, right? Like when she was talking, she was like, I don't get it. I don't know why this is happening. She was
I
very
remember
upset
that,
and very.
yeah.
But if you look at her comments, right? People came into her comments and there were young people who were in her comment section and they were basically saying, look, I honestly went out to go find out who he was and I wanted to know where, like, even if I heard some of the songs, where did I miss it,
Yeah.
right? So there were people who were doing that. And she said, even in response to that, she was like, oh, I never thought of that perspective,
Yeah.
right? Where there would be people who didn't know because she assumed, very much like you, that everybody knew. But people don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, I just feel like we still turn a blind eye to him because the art of the talent is there, right? And so had this been somebody who was a mediocre artist or somebody who was a one-hit wonder, I mean, it wouldn't be as big, right? But he'd be locked up.
And it'd be nothing to turn away from it, right? Now, I
Yeah.
caught myself singing You Remind Me the other day, right? And I'm dead serious. And I sung it like, like with conviction.
With conviction.
You know what I mean? Like when you're,
Yeah.
anyway, so.
Only thing I'm struggling with is the remix to Ignition.
Yeah,
That
right.
was my
It's
go-to
tough.
karaoke
Really?
for a minute.
Yeah,
Because
it's tough.
Jeremiah
it's
sent
the
a
remix
video
to
of a
Ignition.
dude trying not to listen
Hiding
to the
fresh out the
song,
kitchen.
and the dude was a comedian.
It's hard to turn down stuff hiding
Usually
fresh
I
out
don't
the
do
kitchen.
Just that whole that whole beat was just like ridiculous. So I mean, here we are. We're doing it right now. See, this is wrong.
No.
So
But you just talked about the talents and the gifts
Yeah, and that's
pertaining to the person, like separating it from the monster.
Yeah.
yeah, but
You
that's
see
what
the
I'm saying.
talents and
I
the gifts,
feel
but
like
if you
Yeah.
talk about gifts being without repentance, then it was him. So you're still I'm sorry, you're still
Yeah.
putting on this monster of a man, but still has the gifts and the talents of who he is as an artist.
I think that he is less scary to most people because of the musical gift, right? So
Oh, yeah.
so we only talk about this when it's brought to our attention. But this isn't water cooler talk. This isn't happening in church small group.
Yeah.
How do we deal with this problem?
Yeah.
This is happening because we are giving it attention because we're still giving his music
Yeah.
attention, right?
So his music played the white van rolling up. You hear, you want some candy.
Yeah, he's
what you're saying?
he's less of a villain.
Gotcha.
He's the Pied
in
Piper.
the public eye because of the musical talent. Now, when we start watching the documentary
Yeah.
or we see him in court and it's like, oh, here's his mugshot, then we start thinking, yeah, he's pretty bad dude.
Then you see the other side.
Yeah. And then we have to put our we have to apologize to the victims, right? We haven't done them a justice in getting this man off the air and getting his music banned and getting him, you know, away from these young girls and his influences. And so a lot of like what we do, like Sean said, we are his euphoria, right? The fact that he can go online and look and get a report on his streaming numbers or get that royalty check, and he's like, I still got them, still got it, and I can still go and do what I want to do. Because here's the thing: if there is another tape, and this tape is dated a whole lot like earlier or a whole lot later in life, then he didn't learn his lesson the first time. Yeah. He obviously thinks he's untouchable, and if he's in there really saying all the stuff that this article says, where he's pointing out that the girl's body parts are only 14 years old, that's crazy, insane.
Well, that tells me something. It tells me, for one, he doesn't believe he'll get caught. Does that make sense? Like, he feels like, you know, I'm good. I'm out here just doing whatever I want, right? And nobody will stop me from doing what I want, and nobody will, you know, convict me on this. I've been through this before, and nothing happened, right? So he feels almost invincible, and I think that's the overall thing that I got from the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, is that no matter what, right, R. Kelly feels invincible, right? And there's nobody, and he's kept a really tight rein on the people inside the camp.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's because the whole camp is behind it. It's not just a one-person show. It's not a one-man show.
Yeah.
Like, his whole crew was into it. Like, the managers, his assistants, they were all cool with him doing that. That's the incredible thing.
Because they were all still getting money,
Yeah.
Money's a motivator.
Man,
especially when you're seeing that. You're getting paid to be quiet. That's what that is.
Here's another thing. There's this, right? And this has been brought up in a lot of conversations, and I want to know, like, how true is it? Is there an overall, and this may come off weird, but is there like a devaluing of African American women, and is that what's being highlighted here?
Wow. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Because
that's a possibility.
People often say, right, that if these victims were of a different race, this wouldn't be the situation, and he would have been brought to justice.
Yeah. What I didn't like was they brought up the whole concept of girls being fast, and you know, even though. And there was a lot of discussions on different talk shows, different radio shows about, you think about the fast tail girls that's walking around and, you know, with the hormones in the milk nowadays developing a lot, you know, sooner than they should. And so, yes, they would attract the eye of an older man because they look older, and girls being fast and trying to pursue, again, the lure of an older man and things like that, that just kind of like takes away some of the dignity of the victims. You know what I mean? And it's just wrong. It's just hurtful. And it's just, and again, maybe it's because, you know, black women sometimes are perceived to be a little more, I don't want to say advanced in certain ways, but but I can't think of a nice way to say it. You know, it's almost, in a way, it's just saying, not that we don't value your opinion, but we always have to, you don't have the reasonable doubt. Like, we don't want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Same thing with issues that we experience as a culture with Black Lives Matter. It's like, you're not given the benefit of the doubt. It's like, you're here, you're not supposed to be, there has to be a reason why you had to have gotten shot. Same thing in this way with black women. There has to be something that you did to allow this relationship to get perverted to this level, as opposed to looking at this as a 14-year-old girl, regardless of race, who may have struggled with insecurities, who put herself in this position for this lure, and was, you know, her innocence was taken away from her in this manner. And so I think it does play a role, and I think it is, in a sense, kind of hammering at that, because there is no benefit of the doubt in why these were the chosen victims. You know?
So we don't view victims as victims.
No, I think not everyone does. Now, I know a lot of people do. A lot of people think it's sick, this is retarded. But there's still, I've heard and I've seen in comments that people be like, well, you know, look how she's acting. She look like she's a fast little girl. Like, she probably did. It's like, really? Like,
what about the blaming of the parents?
Exactly.
I thought that was.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get why people kind of accuse the parents as well, because they could have did a little bit of a better job.
That's what I'm saying.
But still, we still have to look at R. Kelly. He was the person who started it.
Exactly.
So do you think, I think in a sense, when we talk about different races and this being like a little bit more, this quickly, or I guess solved faster than before, if the parents were a different race, would we see more standing up? Would we see more people saying, oh, you know, we got to help this family get their child back? Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it feels like maybe there's a way to press that hasn't been pressed yet.
I'm not sure. I will say this. I know when men got mad, like during that documentary, right? So during the documentary, if you watched it, there was a time when that guy is basically there, right? He's trying to get in the building because he thinks his daughter's inside the building, right?
Right.
And he's not able to. And during that time, like a lot of like guys, right? Like I guess men kind of like really got mad because they didn't feel like that dude did enough in that situation.
Yeah,
right?
I saw those comments.
Yeah, and they thought about what they would have done in that situation. Even Sean, even talking to Sean, he just said, "Look, if this is me in that situation, right? There would be no way I'm leaving there. Yeah, like we're not leaving there until whoever's in there, until my daughter who's in there comes out of there, right? I'll burn this entire building down. I'll burn this block down. Yeah. I'm not leaving.
Somebody getting his hand.
You know what I mean? Like it don't matter what you think. I don't care what's happening. Yeah. If she in there, she coming out.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's real.
Yeah.
And that's when people, that's when other people got upset. Does that make sense? And that's when some people kind of watch and blame the parents a little bit, right, for being in that situation. Now, for some of those parents, you can't really blame them because their daughters, R. Kelly kind of got smarter as he went along, right?
Yeah, he was very wise with what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like he knew it.
Like
He
I'm
knew
gonna help you
exactly
get
what
a
he was
career
doing.
in music, and
He's
He's a master manipulator.
He's got a system, and I would just be like, I would be exhausted trying to keep up with that system. That system sounds terrible.
Because he had a team. It wasn't him.
And then I also think he was able to kind of come back worse because after the whole first case got dismissed and everything, then that's when he went through the whole I found God part.
That's when he really got it.
And I think that's when everybody kind of backed off, like, oh, he repented. All those good Christians was like, oh, he's gonna get his life together.
Man, the album,
and it was all
good.
like everybody kind of eased back off of him a little bit, and then he started doing more good music.
That's a great point.
And then it was like you wanted to kind of believe he had changed, and then it wasn't with the last 5 or 6 years you started hearing more rumors circulate again, and because you didn't hear anything for a long period of time because that camp kept everything pretty tight. So it's just
I was sitting back and wondering, how did we miss it? Like we were all we didn't miss it. We just turned a blind. Like we ignored it, and it's weird because after you look at that documentary, you're like, you're woke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, definitely.
If you haven't seen it, check it out because it will definitely open up your eyes. And it was convicting. I can't lie.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Well, we're gonna have to watch this and see how it unfolds. And I mean, I would say honestly, just keep praying about it. Like, keep praying that God just lets justice find this man, so that we can get this one thing solved and pushed under the table and get some justice for these victims, because it's not right. We let it go on for way too long. We as a community, we still can do something about it. It doesn't have to. We don't have to wait on the Department of Justice. We can still make a dent in his and impact his career in some way, somehow. We just have to be committed to it.
You think we get a conviction?
You said what?
You think there's a conviction after this?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
I think so.
Everybody gets caught eventually. Like, look at all these. I mean, I'm just gonna take it back because I watch a lot of mob movies, but look at all these mob bosses that eventually died in jail. Right? They were beating all these cases for so many years, and then that one stuck, and it's done. Wrap. Died in jail. So yeah, I think that's it. Well, I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with us. To our guests, you guys want to share your social medias and what you do?
Sly the Clever, I do A&R work and creative work, marketing work for artists. You can find me Sly the Clever on everything, website. Okay. I have an artist, Just John, who's coming out with a new single called Personal in a few weeks. So definitely
we need to talk.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk.
We're gonna talk.
Keep with the updates and check me out.
My name is Lonnie Franklin. I am a talent manager of Caring Management Group, currently managing hip hop artist Kingdom Franchise. What? Yeah, I always like to say I'm a Detroit girl living in the Atlanta world. So.
Oh, awesome.
And you can find me everywhere on social media at Lonnie for Music.
Lonnie for Music.
Yes,
y'all have to come back more.
Number four. LONI for music.
You all have to come back and be regulars because we need more communication with you all and what you all are doing, because this is, like Rick said, big things happening in the city of Atlanta, and we need to make sure that all the key makers are involved. So if you haven't already checked out the Positive Music Movement, there's a website for it, www.positivemusicmovement.com. You can get to it through the Trackstarz website as well. But Positive Music Movement is a movement for all brands that are doing something positive to influence music and film and everything. Just it's really a media movement. So just think about that, everything. So if you have a brand that's promoting clothes, if you're a brand that's promoting advertisement for marketing for artists, if you're an artist yourself, if you're a radio group, if you're a podcaster, if you're anything that's doing anything positive to spread the message, spread the word of Jesus Christ, and have people thinking on a positive level, then we definitely need you on this page. It's a big opportunity because Trackstarz has invested into publications. We are already in 4 publications this year. So since the beginning of January when we made this declaration, we've been in Rolling Out magazine, we're in Hype magazine, we're in The Hype magazine, and we're also in Rise magazine. So all these different publications are seeing the need to spread the word of what we're doing for positive music movement, and they are jumping on board with us and helping us spearhead this thing to all the communities. So if you are a part, if you want to be a part, we have an opportunity for you. Go and check it out on the website. And that's it for us today. Anybody got any parting words?
Nah, man, it's been a phenomenal show. I definitely want to say shout out to Sean and his entire family. Shout out to Sean and Alfie, man.
Oh, yeah, big bro, big bro.
Yeah, super geeked about that. And I'm just happy to be here, man. We can't wait to get DJ Jeremiah back. But I definitely want to give a shout out to Trey for doing a phenomenal job today, man.
Boy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Trey did
and
a phenomenal
contributed
job.
to the conversation, too.
Well, I see you.
I tried.
Yep. Big words.
First of many.
Big words, right?
Many, yeah.
But overall, man, I'm just happy for the entire team. Definitely want to shout out Kevin in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Like handling businessman and for
Boy
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Yes.
my boy Ryan always coming and my boy's back. So look, if I'm saying anything, man, straight up, look, everything's gonna change, man. The whole world's about to change. Just remember this moment, remember this day, remember this time.
Oh, yeah.
Where Rick Sincere, went live on air and said everything is about to change, and it's real.
Man. It is good to be home.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah,
good to be home.
Back.
Definitely want to give a shout out to you all for joining us, and love the bed to telling me to be quiet. God bless.
That was Alexa. All right, you in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
That's silly.
Oh, man.
Dude, for years, actually. I've been knowing about you guys for a while.
Okay, awesome. That's what's up. Thank you for that.
Definitely adding you to my network.
Yeah, I was already following you. I knew I said it before.
That.
Nice. Yo, we still on YouTube? Oh, yo.
Yeah,
Yo, nice. What's good, bro? But yeah, so I didn't know who you were.
Yeah.
I didn't put back. Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you're working with any artists and you're looking for distribution, definitely let us help you with Nectar.
I used to do most of
It's
my own figuring that stuff out, you know?
great what we're being able to, what God is allowing us to do. We've got over 250 Christian hip hop artists already through Nectar. So
yeah, I've been
it's a great opportunity
I
to.
definitely want to
We want people to just be a part of a massive movement where we're doing things together, and so this is a huge step for us. Thank you.
for sure.
I got the tweet that made me follow.
He said that, he was like, I got some Rick.
A tweet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, this is a lot. I mean, I tweet. I used to
Most
tweet
of
a
our
lot.
stuff is
I've been slacking.
That's what I'm trying to remember. I
I'm
remember
slacking.
I'm trying to.
I remember the tweet that made me press
now
follow.
I'm charged with that.
You know what I mean? Like, there's always a tweet, right? There's something that happens where you're like, okay, I'm gonna follow this person.
Yeah.
Rick got his, so
Dang, now you have me curious. I gotta what did I say?
What was that tweet, right?
It's been a while since I-
Oh, okay,
Yeah, back from Detroit, yeah. So
I think I might have switched up playlists. Like the Trackstarz.
yeah, so that's what we're working on.
Which one up here?
like I said, here.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, check it out.
Cause yeah,
Who's over at the
And been playing
Nectar
Nectar
out here?
stuff,
Nectar.
Huh?
So who
I didn't even look at
who would be
it.
the point of contact to say, okay, I'm
So
about
you
to
do
start
A&R,
putting this music
marketing.
on
We'll catch up
my
with
website.
Kevin.
Who do I need
I don't
to
think
talk
I'll catch
about
up
what
with
I'm a
comes
graphic
out?
designer. I'm creative. Songwrite
Oh,
too.
for,
Because
I'm actually about to
her,
drop
like,
some stuff.
I'm
not near
I'm about to go your okay.
Yeah, come on, songwrite.
Gentleman stash.
Do you sing? Or you rap?
yeah, but you're
I
Nectar.
sing the
Yeah, so I'm just like, I don't know.
song
I don't
together.
know if
Yeah.
you see how that goes.
Do you do hood?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Well, you know what? It's not on the website anymore. I tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you
Because you know
producer
what?
too?
Nah.
Yeah. Okay, so not a producer for everything else. Okay, bet. All right.
But you know, you have a
but marketing wise,
request form that
Yeah,
you
that's
fill out
that's
where-
pretty much
marketing
what
wise,
I do at my work.
And I was just telling
Marketing
Rick
wise, I mean,
one day,
it's-
like, y'all have
I'm a
to do
graphic
that.
designer.
Y'all have to do that work because it doesn't
Period.
get
Yeah,
For
so I
real?
do all
me or
my own
Jeremiah.
designs.
Me and Sean.
where you getting? So did you do formalized training in graphic design?
Yeah, I went to school for advertising and design and marketing.
Really?
Yeah. I've been
Slots
doing it
that
for
she
years.
good, bro.
I've been doing music stuff for years, yeah.
You want stats? What she said? You want stats? You stats?
And so what's the artist you said you work with?
King the
That's my
franchise.
phone.
Is it?
King
Yeah,
the
you know
franchise.
Yeah.
Oh.
Beautiful music.
Yeah.
What song?
Oh, bet, okay.
Did you put out any songs?
But
He just released it with
Hey, give me
single
a
last
minute.
year. Let it
Yeah, I got
bake.
stuff
And he's
around.
working on it.
I don't know.
He
I
coming
guess
out. He
you
used to be
should
part of
see
this
it.
Christian hip hop group
It's not
called
really
National
good.
Arts
Say it again?
Rap
Okay.
Culture.
Okay.
Out of Detroit.
Hey, man, whoever
So,
has-
No.
I got familiar with
Everybody- I've been trying to do a lot of
Stephen Mouse.
Be easy.
graphic design.
Yeah.
Right?
not
Okay.
really,
Like,
no.
but I'm
That's